Hello, everyone. Welcome to another all-new Loud Casa Talks, aka Loud House episode reviews that we're giving it up for y'all, considering that we were out for 2 weeks. So now we're back, and we're back here live for everybody. So how's it going? Omid is on my right. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing really good. Yeah, let me just say that it's good to be back here doing this after 2 weeks. Man, was it a vacay? Like, oh my gosh, it's the vacay that we've been dreaming for so long. It's a vacay we've been saving up so much money for. Let me tell you, it paid off.
It definitely paid off. I mean, we were waiting until September for this to happen. I guess we'll go straight to our not really our weekly checkup, but we'll go straight to our big thing that we got announced. We went to D23 Expo, which was a big convention for all Disney fans. It kind of sucks considering that was only 3 days, but heck, we lived the heck out of it just because there were so many things to do around. That was a lot of Disney. That was full of Disney stuff. So like panels, booths. There was even Hall D23 that had all the biggest announcements and stuff. So there's a lot to explain. I mean, do you want to share your thoughts first on how you liked D23?
Oh, I love D23 Expo. It's honestly my first year going, and let me tell you, like, I immediately loved it. I immediately clicked with the con. It was straight up nothing but Disney goodness. Like, first off, we cosplayed too. Like, we cosplayed on Friday and Saturday. Friday we cosplayed Amphibia, and Saturday we cosplayed Owl House. And like, thankfully for us, we met some other Amphibia and Owl House cosplayers on those particular days.
I just love it. Just the fact that there's still fame for Amphibia and Owl House. So I believe we cosplayed it on Friday, Amphibia, and there was a lot of like awesome like Amphibia cosplayers. It was just a little small amount, considering that it's Disney. It's a big property, so you get to see a lot more of like the Disney princesses, Marvel heroes, Star Wars heroes here and there. So it's just a rarity to find those Disney TVAs people that actually cosplayed from Amphibia. So that was great, dude. When we cosplayed Owl House, that was amazing considering that there were so many people that know the show. Like, I think it's just becoming a thing now where like Owl House is becoming a thing. It's quite a common thing in the anime conventions and big conventions like Disney D23. So it was cool to actually see that. So I'm pretty happy that I was able to actually cosplay Rain. Omid cosplayed Hunter. He'd done it before, but in a different version this time around in D23. And me cosplaying Anne was so different considering that, yeah, it's a girl, but for one thing, it's just a lot of things about her. I mean, it is pretty simple considering it's just a t-shirt and shorts and the afro, but it all worked out in the end. A lot of people actually did compliment on my cosplay, saying went to the Rain cosplay as well. So I might bring back Rain, and I don't know which convention I'll go to next, probably KomoriCon. So if you all are Owl House fans or live in the Portland area, I would love to see you guys.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be retiring my Hunted cosplay anytime soon. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of awesome stuff that happened at D23, big announcements. We went to the Disney television panel. What announcement did you love the most when you were there?
The announcement I loved the most when I was in the Disney television panel was gosh, there's so much to think about. Like, I don't even know where to start, honestly. I guess I'll just go ahead and, I'll pass the mic on to you.
Okay. I remember quite vaguely what big announcements came out. I mean, Santa Clauses for Disney Plus. There was also Percy Jackson, National Treasure. So if you're into those series, you'll love that. Unfortunately, there's no big news of Disney TVA, but I did love the fact that there was a appearance of Cricket Green that was in the panel, but it was the same clip from that one clip where he was talking to Raven. If you remember that random rings short, it was the same thing. And I'm like, okay,
yeah.
that was nothing new. I thought we'd actually hear something new about that, but no, there's nothing about
like
that, unfortunately.
I was waiting for the announcement of the Big City Greens movie, but unfortunately, it never came
to fruition. That's not happening until we go to New York Comic Con, probably, because
and if it did,
Big City Greens crew is going to be there.
And if it did, let me tell you, like, if it was announced at that panel, oh my god, the first thing that would be that'll be the first thing that'll be kind of my mind, and I'll be like raving the hell out of that announcement. But as of now, I think I'm just gonna have to say Santa Claus is one of those that I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to I'm curious about Choir. I want to see how that turns out. I don't really watch.
Look good. That looked good, by the way. I really can't wait to see that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I heard that they somehow made it to America's Got Talent or something like that.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
did,
I've
but
heard.
they went to AGT, but then the story behind it, how they became so big after performing in AGT, is a story. It's a story that you want to see. So a lot of documentary series about that, which is great. There was also there was an awesome time where we also saw Uncle Jesse, you know, John Stamos. He was in the stage. Rest in
Oh
peace, by the
yeah.
way, to Bob Saget. That was kind of tragic, by the way. That was so sad.
Yo, yeah, I agree. Like when I saw him talking about Bob Saget and giving that tribute, I was just like, yeah, my heart, man. It's just my heart. We miss Bob Saget every day.
I mean, definitely because those two are a pair in Full House and everything, so it's amazing. I actually have some footage about us, me and Omid, going through D23. If you guys want to check that out, go ahead and see it right here. This is us after day 2. If you're all cool with that, this is us after day 2.
Yes.
Oh, whoops. At Hall D23, which was all pretty much Disney television. They have a lot of awesome stuff for Disney Plus, Disney's Junior, and Disney Channel. What was your most exciting part over there at the Disney panel?
Of course, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Like, I've been hyped for that show, like, ever since I saw its first promo and seeing more information about it. I'm just like, okay, that's a show I'm getting myself into. Oh, and also Cricket's a phone call with Raven.
Oh, it's always the Cricket, right?
Like,
it's always Big City.
It was already a clip. It's still something Big City Greens related, so I'll definitely take it.
Dude, Dad Poppenmeyer and Swampy Marsh. At least they're back and actually rapping.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do it over here. Go over here. At least they're actually rapping.
Mac Doofenshmirtz. Or Dr. Doof.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah. No, but like, I'm just saying, like, Mac Dre, we could call him out Mac Doof or Mac Dre.
Dude, I really hope they actually collaborate again. Dad Poppenmeyer is the only one working on Hamster and Gretel, but you already know that the team of Phineas and Ferb is like there in that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that, and then Disney Plus stuff has a lot of good things. National Treasure. I like to see that.
I want to see a Nick
Percy
Cage
Jackson
cameo
too. Percy Jackson too. That one's actually the one that we were looking for.
Yeah, like I've never read or watched any of Percy Jackson, but to the fans who love Percy Jackson, there you go, there's your food.
Exactly, yeah. And again, Disney Junior stuff is cool. Like I said, Disney Plus stuff is awesome, and then Disney Channel with their things. Unfortunately, no Owl House, no Ghost of Molly McGee, no Big City Greens news, unfortunately.
No Owl House season 3, come on, we were wrong.
I mean, they're not giving us anything, so what can we do? What can we do? They're not giving us anything. They're just giving it down to the Secrets to say.
Petitions?
No, don't do that. I hate petitions.
Okay, no.
Please don't.
Don't go to change.org rapid because chances are it never works.
No, because you're just going to be acting yourself like a fool. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it from that panel. That's amazing, by the way. I hope I can do more panels coming up, like, what was it? The Disney Parks panel, which is tomorrow. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. That's awesome. We have one more thing to do. We're going to be at Mickey's of Glendale doing one more shopping trip before we end the night here at D23 Day 2.
Yeah.
So that was
surprise!
A lot of things.
Surprise!
A lot of things that we just that was announced over there.
It actually turns out that the thing that we were hyped for the most, we didn't want to say it right here, right now. We just thought that we might like for you guys to hear it from our past selves, our past D23 selves. It turns out the thing we're hyped for the most, of course, according to our clip right there, was Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Okay, oh my god! Hype.
Again, when I saw a trailer, it was super hype.
There was a trailer, and there was also like this performance of like people in skater gear, literally like roaming around the stage doing a performance, and I thought that was awesome. Plus, you also get to see like Lawrence Fishburne and also the crew that was working with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. It looks great. It's gonna premiere on February on Disney Channel, so that's at least another epic adventure that we should all check out. By the way, based off Marvel Comics, so you all should check that out.
Yes. So yes, the thing I'm hyped for the most, you just heard it for yourselves, folks. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Nothing else comes close.
I gotta say this. Day 2 was the hype. Day 3 kind of was Day 3 was still hype too. It just thinks that we couldn't be able to make it to the Disney Parks panel because it was all full and they're the crazies that literally stay up past midnight to line up to go to the panel. I'm like, I'm not that person.
Yeah, no, I'm not. We're not the crazies. We're not craze or anything like that.
But you know what? We're able to actually see it live, like not literally there live, because I would love to get Porto's Bakery for food. because people who actually attended that panel ended up getting portals for, I don't know, lunch or breakfast or something. So lucky them. But there was so many awesome announcements. I think the biggest announcement for us here in California is the fact that we're going to have Big Hero 6 in Disney's California Adventure. So that definitely piqued my interest. I was like, San Francisco going to D20, going to Disney's California Adventure. Heck yeah. But
yes,
the best one is definitely in Disney's Magic Kingdom, because they have 3 new lands coming out. They said they're going to have a Disney Villains Land, a Coco Land, and Kanto Land. So if you love those Disney movie series, you're gonna love that. That's one big announcement there. And then if you're in Japan, they have the Fantasy Springs area that's gonna be coming out in Tokyo Disney Sea. That's gonna come out in, I think, 2 to 3 years. That was huge, by the way, because like the last time we visited, there was nothing like that. And now you're telling me there's gonna be a new Fantasyland for like Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Frozen. I'm like, you should have went 2 years later. Now we can go back, but like when it comes out in 2024 or 2025. But there's huge stuff for the parks. That's definitely the hypest part there.
And also Shanghai Disneyland has Zootopia Land.
Yeah, and also Animal Kingdom is gonna have Zootopia too.
Yes, I was also that. So I'm just like, okay, like you give me another reason to go back to Florida for Animal Kingdom for Zootopia Land.
Yeah, we'll wait that for 2 more years, though. A lot of big announcements from Disney and Pixar as well. You've got not Impossible.
Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2 is one of them.
Wish.
There was this Wish movie that's coming out. The Little Mermaid live action that's also is pretty cool too. I can't wait to see that one. It's coming out next year. I forgot what else was also announced too. Of course, Tiana's Bayou Adventure that's coming out next year. I mean, no, 2 years. Unfortunately, 2 years, which means you guys have to ride Splash Mountain before it closes next year.
Like we did, like we rode Splash Mountain.
That's true, we did. But besides, panels were great. I learned a lot of Walt Disney's plane because I'm into Disney history like that. And then a lot of stuff that we also grabbed as well, considering that we went to the D23 Marketplace, went to Mickey's of Glendale, we went to all of these places here and there, and to say the least, we ended up getting a lot of awesome stuff, from pins to free swag and everything in between. So let's go ahead and showcase what we've got for y'all.
Yes.
I'll show you.
Gather around, boys and girls. It's time for show and tell.
Both of us ended up getting this poster, by the way, D23 poster. This looks great, by the way. You can see in the poster like a lot of hidden gems, from like Monsters Inc. to what was it, Marvel stuff to Pixar. There's even Lightyear, and even Maleficent right on the top as well. Dumbo is also on the top. See, that's a poster that I'm probably gonna be putting up here on this wall later. So this is gonna be somewhere up there.
Like, it's been hung up on my wall, like ever since I got back. I decided to unpin it just to show you guys this. It's definitely the perks of being a D23 member. D23 Gold member. There you go.
I mean, we are gold members after all, so that's what makes us pretty awesome. I got a lot of pins here. I'll show you guys, like, here's some free ones, by the way. If you actually go around these panels, you get some free ones. So if you're into these shows like American Horror Story or Abbott Elementary or Good Morning America, they're all here. I mean, I'm a fan of a couple of these, so it was pretty cool to actually get this for free, literally walking out of the con.
I mean, this is the one I got for free because I'm a Box Lunch member. They had this at the Box Lunch booth.
And then we also did attend there's a Hamster and Gretel panel because Dan Povenmire was there. So obviously we wanted to check out what this show is about. It's obviously the same little elements as Phineas and Ferb, but with superheroes, because Hamster and Gretel are superheroes. And right after the panel, they gave us free pins. I mean, I'm pretty cool that they give us free pins of the characters and the logo and then the hero logos as well. So, watch Hamster and Gretel if you guys want to.
Yeah, I mean, I might give it a watch someday. After seeing the panel, I'm just like, okay, I've gained a little more interest in seeing it. I'll see how it goes. I got the Hamster and Gretel pins too, but they're in my room. I do want to share the pins I got for myself. Obviously, best character for Emperor's New Groove, Kronk. I also got this Oliver and Company one, such an underrated movie, and of course, couple of Goofy movie ones here too, because Goofy movie is awesome.
Sounds good. This is awesome thing that I ended up getting because I watched the panel about Disney ambassadors, and apparently these Disney ambassadors promote the Disney parks and make them like attractive to everybody. For them who want to, it's pretty much like them to motivate. If you're a Disney ambassador on these Disney parks, your job is to make sure the cast members who are working in those parks are happy. So they make up events, they make up these things here and there. And what's kind of crazy was that they also gave out some stuff for free for attending the panel. And this is pretty awesome. They gave me this wooden coaster that literally said D23 on it, but it's actually from a eucalyptus tree that was torn down like a couple years ago. Apparently, a couple years ago. And this was actually from Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'm actually taking home some sort of Disneyland history with me. So that was actually pretty nice. It's a preservation program that they had. So it's like, oh, we have to obviously change the trees because they're dying. We'll cut them down, but obviously you want to make sure that they're memorable. So there you go. We got a piece of wood. This is my coaster now. I'm putting this as my coaster. So I literally have my drinks like right over here.
Enjoy that piece of wood, man.
Yeah. And I got as much to put up here. I mean, there's too many pins for me to show off. I'm not gonna show it off here, obviously. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this. That's too much. But to be fair, going to these panels, getting some free swag, it kind of feels like, in my case, PAX West. If you went to the PAX Con in Seattle, that's the same thing. Like it's like Disney D23 is kind of like that, except with a lot of Disney stuff, obviously from the Disney things that come in from Marvel to Lucasfilms to what is it, to the Disney bundle. They even have like Hulu stuff and Disney Plus stuff, and there's some cards that I don't have with me, but they were actually giving away some free like cards, talks about like all the shows in Disney Plus. So yeah, awesome free swag. But besides that, I mean, the whole convention, no doubt, it was only for 3 days. I loved it. I definitely was a huge fan of all the things that was over there. The exhibit hall was way too big that I wanted to go through like everything that's in the booth, but you're running out of time because like you want to go to this booth, you have to take away some time off for that. You want to go to this panel, you got to take some time off of that as well. So I didn't have much time to actually visit all the booths. I'll have to plan earlier next time. But yeah, to say the least, it was a fun Disney convention, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. I had lots of fun, man. I'm so glad that I saved up, and I'm so glad that I was able to go. It was definitely a con worth going to. Can't wait to go in 2024.
Yeah, but it's apparently a 2-year thing. So unfortunately, you guys have to wait till 2024 for the next one. Hopefully, we'll see you there, if anything. But besides that, D23 was fun and all, but we also want to check out the Disney parks. We were literally next door to Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. So this is literally my first time in 5 years going back to Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. And oh my God, so many things have changed. Like Disney's California Adventure now has Adventures Campus, and there's so much other stuff from Pixar to whatever's in Hollywood Studios now and everything in between. To say the least, things have changed. I love Adventures Campus, to be fair. I mean, I love the Web Slingers ride. I love the Guardians ride. It looks amazing. And I mean, we could be able to actually go through everything. We had the Cars on at least, which was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, Disney's California Adventure, no doubt. I mean, things have definitely changed in that theme park, and it's amazing, like how things have changed. Building Adventures Campus there, and so many other things around there as well.
Yeah, honestly, like it's been 5 years for you. It's been 5 months for me. I haven't been there since like 5 months. Yeah, the last time I went was April with my family, and yeah, it makes me excited to go to the Disney parks like twice in the same year. But this time I got to go with friends. This time I got to go with friends like you and Jess and all that stuff. It was a magical time.
How different is it between friends and family?
I will say though, like with friends, you get to do more stuff. Like it's not as limited because when you're with family, like obviously, like I'm the youngest in my family. Like I have my older brother, and my mom. Like they're not as willing to do as many rides as you and Jess are, which gives me more flexibility to do more rides and check out more shows. Like World of Color was beautiful, and of course there was this show at the Disney Castle in Disneyland on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I was talking about California Adventure, but the World of Color definitely felt the same. I thought they were going to make some changes, but thankfully from that Disney Parks announcement, they are going to make some changes with World of Color, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh yeah, World Color, like they're gonna. I wonder what they're gonna add into World of Color. I know they're gonna add.
They're adding like a lot. Yeah, they're adding Encanto. They're adding Frozen. So to say the least, there's gonna be a lot of like new IPs that they're gonna put up in the World of Color, which looks to be great. Besides that, Cars Land, we had to wait a while for us to actually get into the Cars Radiator Spring Racers ride because that took a while. But we were able to ride it at least.
Yeah,
so there was that.
Same thing with Rise of Resistance at Disneyland also. Rise of Resistance, I wasn't able to go last time.
Well, to be fair, we wanted to ride that first. So immediately, right when we went to the park, we just wanted to go straight to the Rise of Resistance ride.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'm so glad we went first thing in the morning, because if we had went sometime like the afternoon or evening, the wait time would be twice as long.
It's actually not bad. I've been looking at the Genie Plus app. It said like at the most 100 minutes, 105 minutes. So that's like an hour and 40 minutes. Not bad compared to like, I would say the Avatar ride in Florida that takes like 3 hours. So
oh god,
yeah,
3 hours. Imagine.
Yeah, unless you do like the fast Genie Plus and pay for it, which I don't want to do. But thankfully, those rides that we had to pay for, we didn't need to pay for at all because the line was was easy. It was not bad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It was. And speaking of Genie Plus, by the way, it's actually really helpful. Like, the Genie Plus app that you use, it's actually very convenient.
And y'all thought that Fast Plus was the better version of Fast Pass, but I think Genie Plus actually works. I mean, I do have to pay a fee, unfortunately, but we get free pictures. We're able to actually go to these rides pretty easily. So I think it's definitely worth it to have Genie Plus. I know a lot of people say don't get it, but it's not bad. I mean, definitely for a fun park experience, you need that.
I mean, Fast Pass will always have a special place in my heart, but Genie Plus is not too bad of an alternative. Like, it just kind of bothers me a bit that Genie Plus costs more money. Like, it costs extra money in comparison to Fast Pass, where Fast Pass is free.
Yeah, Fast Pass was free before, but then the Fast Pass, I don't know. This is a complicated story. We could go back to Defunct Land and just talk to them. They'll be the ones to explain more about the Fast Pass. Yes. But no, in Disneyland, definitely was awesome. I didn't expect Star Wars Galaxy Bay to be really awesome. And then, of course, we also rode Splash Mountain for the last time. Where was it? There were some rides that we couldn't be able to ride, like Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean. Those are classics to my heart. I always want to ride those all the time, but unfortunately, we weren't able to ride those considering our time was also pretty limited during Disneyland. It would be great if we actually had the fireworks show, but we ended up getting a light show, and that wasn't bad either. It looked pretty nice, especially for where we were at. And then we were able to ride like Space Mountain, which was the best one. We had a chill ride at Finding Nemo, etc., etc. You guys wanted to ride Small World, and you guys did. So there you go.
Small World.
We didn't ride Mad Tea Hatter. I wanted to ride the Mad Teacups.
Yeah, I did want to ride the Mad, because I've had childhood memories of that ride, so it would have been nice. But honestly, the rides that we did ride in, like say Pinocchio's Daring Journey. Oh my god, that is like my childhood staple ride. Like, honestly, I remember I have fond memories of going to Pinocchio's Daring Journey. Like, so many times I had to beg my parents when I was a kid to like go on it again and again and again.
I see. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, we're not gonna run a lot of time out of this. But to be fair, I was glad to be back in the Disney parks. I was so happy to be there. I can't wait to come back. Hopefully next year or in 2 years we go back to D23 in 2024. But it's just amazing just to go back to this vacation. A lot of Disney stuff for sure, and there's so much there's so much to think about. Like, now I have to like process everything, and this is why I'm doing this whole new YouTube channel. If you haven't actually followed my brand new YouTube channel, please do, so you can subscribe and see all the latest D23 Expo stuff that we did from day 1 to day 3, plus Disneyland, plus Disney's California Adventure, plus other things that we also did in our vacation. So please head over to my YouTube channel. It's called Nate's GP Con Videos. And please subscribe, because I'm just trying to make up a brand new YouTube channel.
Yeah, please do, because let me tell you, like, his videos are really well shot. They're really well made. Like, they look very professional. So yes, if you want like really high quality con videos of what it's like to be in a con, D23 Expo included, please check out Nate's YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's self-promotion now, guys. Please do check out my YouTube channel. Yes, it's called Nate's GP Con Videos because, yes, I can't put gameplay in all in one word in one of the titles, unfortunately, for YouTube. But yeah, please do, because I really do love to get more subscribers. I'm in that 500 already, trying to get that 1,000, hopefully. All right, that's enough of my self-promotion. It's time to actually head straight to our episode reviews of The Loud House. Yeah, episode reviews of The Loud House. You know what? It's been a while since we've been doing this, so how great is it for us to come back and talk about these episodes? Because these are good ones. You have a Luna episode, Omid. We have a Bertram episode. We have a Lori episode. I don't have Lori with me, damn it. We have a Lori episode. We have a Stella episode. So there's a lot for me. Omid has his Luna episode, and we have a Bertram episode. Which, to be fair, we didn't expect Bertram to come back ever. He was just out for like 3 seasons, and now he's back for season 6.
Yeah, Bertram, honestly, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really remember him all that well in the Morticians Club. I don't know. He never stood out.
He left. The last time we saw him was in A Great Mistake, where he left.
I kind of forgot he left. That's how forgettable he was. Like, in the Morticians Club, the characters that stand out the most are, of course, Lucy Loud herself, as well as Haikyuu and Bliss. But other than that, though, the other characters, they don't really have names other than Bertram, I guess. And even if I did remember that name, like, it's a name that I would, forget like episodes later.
It's not that bad. I mean, yeah, it's just because we haven't seen him in so long. That's the reason why we're forgetting his name. All right, but yeah, let's move on ahead. I know you guys are waiting because we just talked a lot about D23 and Disneyland. Please go to Disneyland. Please go to California Adventure, guys. And please go to D23 2024 if you guys can. It's amazing.
High recommendation. High recommendation.
So let's go straight to our episode reviews. Let's talk about Hiccups and Downs. That's the first episode that we're going to be talking about tonight. It's the Luna episode. So the synopsis here is that Luna needs to get rid of a nasty case of the hiccups before our big rock competition. Now, the episode begins with Luna cheering, pretty much saying that she could have a chance of actually getting a gig or getting a song produced from the Rockers, but they have to compete in this little thing called Rumble of the Rockers. The winner gets a record summer demo, which actually sounds like a huge leap for a rock band. I know I shouldn't be asking this because it's way too obvious, but how excited for Luna again to come back and have an episode here?
Yes, I am so happy for my girl. Like, oh my gosh, this is a huge leap. This is a huge step forward in terms of her music career. I mean, just look at that. She is gonna slay. Like, oh my gosh, look at that. Look how excited she is. Look at that. She is gonna slay.
So in this part, it was like, okay, so another huge competition. It just reminds me of really loud music, for example. So yeah, awesome. Luna is about to go into a rock star thing happening for her. But unfortunately, in the middle of her celebration, she actually ends up getting the hiccups. Hiccups are actually becoming a huge problem for Luna, considering that this hiccup problem actually lasted all night. Like the whole day here, she was having hiccups. The next day, she was having hiccups. And even like in breakfast, she was bothering her family because she also had the hiccups. So it's a big problem for Luna. The Loud siblings agree to help Luna cure the hiccups so that her band can be able to win the competition. So what are your thoughts on the family trying to help her out in this situation?
I love how, like, of course, the Loud siblings are, of course, leap to the rescue to help their Loud siblings whenever they have a situation. Take, for example, Luann's pimple plan. Same thing here with Luna's hiccups. Like, oh my gosh, like as time progresses on, her hiccups become more and more
problematic.
They become more problematic. That's the thing. Like I was about to say, they become more and more louder. They become more and more severe. Like honestly, like her hiccups become more severe up to the point where it's like, okay, she needs help. The Loud siblings got to help her get rid of those hiccups once and for all.
Oh man, I just feel bad for Luna, especially the fact that she actually lasted the whole day and night with the hiccups. And of course, it's going to be a big problem considering that she had to, perform with the hiccups on. So unfortunately for Luna, this is a big problem for her.
It really is. I feel bad for her. It's like, oh my poor girl Luna. She's got the hiccup situation and she has to get rid of it before the big show.
Yeah. So now let's explain how the Louds were trying to help Luna out in her situation with the hiccups. So first thing is Lana, and her recommendation is to pretty much be in trash. Omid, your thoughts on on Lana just doing this to her?
Yeah, I don't think that would be very effective. I guess you could say the Lana's idea to help Luna. It's a pretty
I don't know how. I don't know how that's supposed to help her.
It's a pretty garbage plan, if you ask me.
I don't know how you're supposed to actually help her with that. I mean, like, what is it? The smell of the trash, the reason why you're gonna get rid of the hiccups? I mean, like, I never see Luna down and dirty and stuff like that. So when she was like covering herself in trash and being herself in trash, I'm like, oof. I'm sorry, Luna. This is not a good cure for you.
Yeah, no, I think that honestly, the other plans, in my opinion, would be more effective. But of course, we see Lana. No surprise, she enjoys, getting the trash all over her and all that stuff, getting down and dirty. That may be fine for your enjoyment, Lana, but it's not fine for curing hiccups with Luna. Just saying.
I don't know. Maybe Lana just has her own ways of curing hiccups from trash. I guess she is a trash bunny after all. Then we also get to see Lucy and Luann actually team up, and the way that they want to do it is to try to scare the hiccups away. And I've seen this before, where you scare the hiccups away, and the hiccups are gone. How did you like this scene here?
Now, of course, I do like the idea of Lucy and Luann using their own skills, and then they combine themselves to pretty much build something to make it to scare Luna. And of course, what better way to scare Luna than to have Mr. Coconut's close-up scene right there with the face and all that stuff. And then especially when you see the eyes, you see the eyeballs kind of being widespread apart. It's like, yeah, good luck sleeping tonight. Okay, I'm just saying.
Actually, a continuity thing here is Luna just scared of Mr. Coconuts is the reason why that she was just like this. Because I'm not surprised here, because there have been times where Luna just doesn't like Mr. Coconuts, and this scene here definitely proved the point here, where Mr. Coconuts just comes out and surprises her. Then Luna's definitely scared, and even every mention of Mr. Coconuts comes up, and then Luna just literally freaks out and runs away. So it's like, okay, so this is a long time coming. Now I know Luna's scared of Mr. Coconuts.
Yeah, it's no wonder she hates him now. Am I right? It's no wonder she hates him. It's like, this is pretty clear now because.
Well, then again, she's been in the same room with Luann. So I would imagine. I think it just started to get to her. Like, I'm tired of Mr. Coconuts. I'm tired of the puns. Please get away from me, Luna. Oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to, switch rooms and trade rooms now just to get away from that nasty puppet.
Yeah, that's true. Now, there's also Lincoln and Lynn with this whole obstacle course thing to scare away the hiccups for Luna. And I'm kind of wondering, wait, why are these two actually working on some sort of thing together?
Yeah, we rarely see Lincoln and Lynn working together. Okay, the last time we saw them working together was Dis the Cook. But other than that, though, to see Lincoln and Lynn together, like working together, just the two of them, it's a kind of a rarity. It was a really nice touch to see.
I think we're seeing a trend here where Lincoln and Lynn are definitely having some sort of like, look, we get it. Lynn always abuses Lincoln a lot. Now look at them now together. Lynn is actually caring for Lincoln, okay? So stop the hate, okay?
Yeah, honestly, that hate should have died long ago. Like, for some reason, it's kind of it's not as it's not as obvious. It's not as out there anymore. But yeah, there are those out there.
So yeah, this whole obstacle course is what Lynn and Lincoln were thinking of, and I'm like, yeah, Luna can't survive this. sliding down the roof, going to Lola's car, and then slamming herself into chocolate pudding.
Yeah, look at this. This definitely looks like a third-rate Disneyland ride. Speaking of Disneyland rides.
Oh my god.
Okay, enough Disneyland talk for one night. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyway, going back to this. So it turns out that Luna was just about to ride the attraction, but lo and behold, Lisa Loud actually has come up with a solution that would have actually saved a good amount of Luna's time and a good amount of her butt, if you know what I mean.
I see, yeah. Now the thing is that she was about to ride that thing, but Lisa actually would come up to the end and actually gave her a remedy, which is pretty much an elixir, pretty much a spray for her to actually cure the hiccups. And it actually does work, because after putting the spray on, she turned out she actually was hiccup free. So props out to Lisa. She ended up having the cure for Luna and her hiccups.
Yes, like honestly, good on Lisa. Like, she continues to, be the awesome Lisa, like season 5 and up.
I'm wondering, is Lisa just getting better as a character? Because we have more episodes that we're going to review, and it does include Lisa becoming a better character, to say.
Yeah, like recent seasons have shown that Lisa is much more than the female Dexter that we thought that she was in season 1. She actually manages to really stand out as a character on her own.
Yeah, it definitely does. But yeah, Lisa, no doubt, she's pretty much got a remedy for Luna to get cured of the hiccups, and it all worked out. Looks like it turned out to be a fun time for them. It turned out to be something good for Luna. So yeah, problem solved, right? Well, unfortunately, that wasn't the case, because what happened in the next scene was that Chunk drops off the moon goats where the competition is, but unfortunately, Luna lost her spray. So Chunk is pretty much left in Chunk's van, and yeah, the spray is pretty much there. Chunk already went to his gig, so Luna has to pretty much find that van in order for her to, get that cure of the hiccups, to say. So yeah, Luna would tell the Loud siblings to go to Liam's farm to meet Chunk. Unfortunately, he left there early. So it's pretty much doomed at the moment for Luna. Spend your thoughts on Luna just trying to go around, trying to find Chunk.
Okay, like first off, I gotta say that's nice to see Luna with her entire band again. Not just Luna and Sam, but Luna, Sam, and the entire band once again. And things do seem to be looking, pretty well, but unfortunately, the hiccups managed to strike back again. So so pretty much it leaves her with no choice but to call up her siblings to go to like Liam's farm, but unfortunately that backfired. So yeah, I do really feel bad for Luna that she has to pretty much go through this, because let me tell you, like, she deserves so much better than to, go around like, place to place to find Chunk in order to get rid of the hiccups. But then again, I feel like Luna should have been more careful with keeping her, spray, making sure she doesn't, leave it behind the van.
Mm-hmm. I it was just a kind of a wild journey for Luna to find Chunk's van, and she went to Liam's thing here, and unfortunately, it turned out to actually become a disaster, considering what I believe it's what Chunk played. He apparently played Old MacDonald, and the animals went awry.
Yeah, it turns out that Old MacDonald somehow is the trigger song for the animals, which causes them to go on.
It's weird.
I love.
Is it because of the spelling? Is it because of like I don't know? I forgot what it was, but
it's not like they said the word butcher or anything like that.
Oh, so. That's in another episode, okay?
Yeah, okay. Like we're gonna talk about that later. Oops, spoiler. Anyway, so I like the fact how like after Liam tells them like where Chunk is head, that Liam sacrifices himself so that the
that was actually pretty epic. The way that he kind of like he does like a Jesus thing where he's like has like feed on him, and then he just like sacrifices himself onto the animals.
Yes, Liam died for your Liam died. Liam died for your hiccup situation, Luna.
And then he also did go. Now this is kind of weird because like Luna actually went to the Food and Fuel where Flip is, and he tried to use his remedies on Luna's hiccups, and oh my god, it's Chunk, it's Flip. What do you expect? He was thinking nacho cheese, and I'm like, really disgusting nacho cheese.
I'm like, no. Taking money is one thing, ripping off someone's one thing, but you don't ever do that to my girl. How dare you, Flip? How dare you?
It's Flip, by the way. He's gonna be disgusting like that. So at least he gave him the tip that said like, "Oh, Chunk went here." But still, I mean, this is Flip. What do you expect?
Nothing less. Like, I don't expect anything less from him, and nothing more from him. What am I gonna say?
All right, and then they went to the burnt bean, and then Chunk's van was actually pretty close over there. They actually did catch up to the van, but unfortunately, Luna was sloppy, and she actually broke the thing. And I'm like, why, Luna? Why?
No, it's like, okay, like when characters do that, I'm just like, Like Butterfinger as much? Come on. It's kind of like Project Loudhouse where Lincoln had his Butterfinger moment and like he slipped and dropped like his project. Like that's
Oh,
sort of
you
thing. It's
mean
sort of similar to that.
Project Loudhouse? That was a good one.
I really like that one, but you know, having them like break the project like by the slip of their hands, I'm just like, you gotta be more careful, you know.
I don't know. Luna just like literally slipped it off her
I felt
fingers.
I felt really bad for Luna though. It's just like, oh, what is Luna gonna do now? Like she
still has the hic. Yeah, she unfortunately still has the hiccups, and I totally feel for her. Just the fact that she went through all this stuff, and then her hiccups is going to be a problem for her because the whole spray is pretty much gone. So yeah, I'm guessing she's gonna perform with the hiccups, I guess, or she's pretty much gonna quit the whole gig to say.
I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, but just as she gives up, her bandmates mention how the hiccups do help her with the rhythm in the band. And the Moon Goats actually would perform all together with the hiccups that Luna actually had. And yeah, they actually ended up winning the whole thing. So what was your thoughts on the Moon Goats and this whole setup of them performing in this competition?
Yeah, but I really like the fact that how Maddie pointed out that it actually Luna's hiccups actually managed to make the performance better rather than worse, which gives Luna the idea to use the hiccups to her advantage. And oh my god, the song they perform in this one, like, oh my god, catchy. And of course, I expect no less from, you know, my favorite Luna Loud. You know, she always delivers the songs. Oh my gosh, when everything is going smooth, live you sent you. Then when things start to improve, you hit another hiccup. Please tell me what I'm doing wrong. How am I gonna get through this song? Everybody just play along every time there's a hiccup. Yes.
I actually know the song? Wow, I didn't know that.
Bro, of course I do, man. It's like I know Luna's songs from heart because, you know, she always has the best, you know, she always has the best songs. She's my favorite character. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I love to see the Moon Goats perform. It definitely was an awesome time to see them perform, and of course, they ended up getting the first place trophy. So, congrats to them. Yes. I do love the fact in the end though, where what was it? If they want to keep that song, they have to have the hiccups again. So Luna is going back to getting hiccups. How'd you like this whole ending here?
I kind of like the fact how they go from getting rid of the hiccups to bringing back the hiccups, and I'm thinking to myself, honestly,
how do you end up getting hiccups? That's the thing.
I'm just like, okay, like that sets up a potential for a part 2 of Hiccups and Downs. Like honestly, like this is sort of similar to Ruthless People, except not as bad, where the ending definitely sets up for a sequel episode that unfortunately we're not going to get, at least not for a while. So yeah, I kind of want to see how they're going to try to bring back Luna's hiccups.
I don't know how they're going to do it. The last time she ended up getting a hiccup, she was pretty much screaming up loud. Are we just going to let her scream and then the hiccups will come back to her?
They could.
All right. But yeah, that's pretty much it of the episode. The Moon Goats are going to have a brand new single to drop thanks to their performance. The Louds also helped Luna out in her situation. And in the end, she still needs to get the hiccups. That was a pretty interesting little ending there. But anything else you want to bring up from Hiccups and Downs?
Yes. Let me just say this. It is so good to be, you know, having a Luna Loud episode once again, because once again, like it's been months. Like it's been way too many episodes since In the Mick of Time and all that stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, are they like making less Luna episodes now? I'm just like, I kind of want. I'm just like that's pretty disheartening. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty disheartening.
There was only like, is it one episode in season 6 all about Luna? Like I think this is the only episode about Luna in season 6.
I'm just like, we want more, man. We want more because there's so much you could do with Luna Loud, her music career, and of course her relationship with Sam. So I kind of want to see all that unravel, all that unfold, and also Lincoln and Lynn doing the high five thing.
Yeah, dude. I swear to God, they are definitely like awesome. like, you know, being brother and sister together. Like, thank you for Loud Crowd. Thank you, Loud Crew, for actually like representing like... these two and actually having the, you know, the best time to like, they're actually being cool siblings together, not like abusive siblings like we used to see before, you know. At least like, now we get to see Lynn and Lincoln like collaborating, which is great.
That's a nice touch. I like that whole high five thing was like boop boop. You know, I love that.
We need more of Lynn and Lincoln, okay? Because I do love this. I do love this whole sibling bond here.
We need more of them like this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else you want to bring up?
Nothing much I want to say except I want to see where the Moon Goats go, like from there, like the next phase of, you know, their band careers. I want to see where it all goes because I'm very happy for them for their accomplishment here.
So, I mean, my thing here is, what is it? Thankfully, we actually do have a Luna episode, and thankfully, we also do have them with the band, with the Moon Goats. So, it's just telling me that Luna is just going to be riding with the Moon Goats when it comes to her story. So, if it's anything, I can totally see more Moon Goats episodes with, you know, Sam, Sully, and Mazzy all together. If they could, I just feel like if they're going to continue on with this show, I believe Luna and the Moon Goats are definitely going to be a huge thing. I mean, like Lucy and the Morticians Club, which we're going to review later. They're going to have their own cliques, and I think Luna is just going to be riding with their Moon Goats, especially when as more new episodes come in. I do love the Moon Goats. I hope we get more episodes. I think we forgot about something here. So Luna fans, get your food.
Yes,
you got your food.
Look at this.
So there you go.
Look at this.
You got just a little moments here. So I mean, no doubt they definitely are rock stars together. They're cute together. Okay, they're beautiful.
More Luna. What's up? Let's go.
I mean, there's that. Then where's it? That's beautiful. Actually,
the blush.
Look
at the blush.
Oh my god.
Look at them looking at each other like, oh my god, it's so beautiful.
When we have like another date, when is another racing carts coming in?
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah, this is beautiful. Just at least a reference of Sam and Luna here. At least that already gets me.
But really, like though, like the bigger picture is like not just the Luna, but the entire Moon Goats as a band. I absolutely love.
Oh yeah. All right. I got nothing else to say, so let's head over straight to our ratings. I mean, how would you rate Hiccups and Downs?
I would definitely rate this a 9 out of 10. Like, while not the best Luna episode out there, it's definitely one of those episodes that really does shine Luna Loud in such an amazing light. It's one of those episodes that does highlight why she is my favorite character because, you know, there have been some, you know, hiccups that she had to go through, you know, in her music career. And this, she had to go through literal hiccups right over there. So, I definitely felt for her, and yeah, like while there were a few hiccups with this episode that I felt kept it from being perfect. Like I said before, I cared so much about Luna, what she went through, and of course, the Moon Goats together is awesome. They won at the end, so I'm happy, and of course, more so Luna.
Not really the best Luna episode, I would say, but I think overall this definitely was a episode that I wasn't waiting for, considering that we have the Moon Goats back, Luna is back, the focus is on Luna again, which we haven't seen since season 5, and it's a problem that rock stars have, and there's the solutions that come with it. So I mean, amazing episode, and I enjoyed it all in a while. No doubt about it, the Sun Luna moments were great. The family supporting Luna was awesome as well, and yeah, it was a good episode. I give it an 8 out of 10. No doubt, it was really one of a really good episode.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. For Hiccups, so me it goes with 9 out of 10. I believe it's a little biased there, but I'm just joking. All right,
no bias whatsoever.
Let's head over straight to the next episode called the Loathe Boat that also aired the week after Hiccups and Downs aired. Synopsis here says the Morticians Club planned Bertrand's escape from the cruise ship his parents worked on. So the episode begins with the Morticians Club meeting at the cemetery, by the way, in the morning, which you never do, because apparently Morticians Club always love to be at night, not in the morning. I love how Dante just says, I'm not a morning person. Yeah, I'm the same way too.
Yeah, same here. I have difficulty getting up in the morning for work, nowadays especially, because I like to stay up at night and all that stuff. So,
So yeah, Lucy tells the club that Bertrand has sent the message to them, calling them to rescue him from the cruise ship, by the way. And I don't think everybody knew this, but yes, that is true. If you remember A Great Mistake, he did leave for this cruise. And apparently it's torturing him, which makes sense considering cruises are, very lively. And now we also get to see Bertram's parents, who is also lively themselves as well. So the ship is located in Lake Eddie, and they're about to set sail when Lucy and the gang get into the ship. So what's your first impression? The fact that we're actually going to see Bertram again?
Honestly, I didn't really think much of it because I'm gonna be honest. Like Bertram is one of those characters I remember the least from Mortician's Club. Like
because he didn't appear for like 3 seasons. The last time we saw him was season 3.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. But even back in season 3, there are those characters that don't appear for like 3 or 4 seasons, and they still leave an impression on me. Bertrand, though, not so much.
Okay, so to be fair, Bertram was in the Morticians Club even since season 2. Remember when the Morticians Club were still doing their own thing? Remember Fandom Pains? He was still part of that Morticians Club. Apparently, he was the leader of the Morticians Club when we saw that in A Great Mistake. Yes, he did have a small role, but it was crazy the fact that that people still remember him from season 3. Like, oh my God, we're looking back at characters back in season 3. I mean, we literally did bring back what was it? Jackie and Mandy in one episode in season 5. Now we're bringing back Bertram in season 6. So I believe the Loud Crew is doing this thing where it's like continuity is working, where you actually do bring back old characters and bring them back into the show. Now tell me when Rocky is coming back, okay?
I know. You see, that's kind of the thing. Like you bring Bertram back, you bring Jackie and Mandy back, but you don't bring Rocky? Are you kidding me? Seriously. Like I said, hashtag justice for Rocky Spokes.
So Bertram helps him out by giving him tickets, and we also get to see his parents for the first time. The first person that comes up was his mom. So how are your thoughts on How are your thoughts on Bertram's mom?
Bertram's mom seems to be nice and friendly. I like the fact how she accepts the Morticians Club for who they are. I like how she doesn't condescend or patronize or make fun of them or the way they dress. No, she accepts her son. She accepts her son's friends. She accepts their goth lifestyle, even if it's different. Even if it's a different lifestyle from hers.
Also, the fact that the mom is very peppy and stuff. I've seen this before, where you have a goth. You have a goth son or daughter, and then the family is just all pretty and perpy, pretty fancy and stuff. I've seen you, Sam Manson from Danny Phantom. I know you. You're just the same person, just like Bertram.
And then, of course, the Loud family themselves. Don't forget, you got Lucy Loud, who is the dark gothic, girl we all know and love. And then the complete opposite is the rest of her siblings, who are more like Sunny, who are more bright and all that stuff.
Right. But I feel like Bertram's case is more towards Sam Manson if you watch Danny Phantom, because it definitely does reflect that. Knowing Sam is a goth and her family is so perky. It kind of feels like Bertram is in the same case because her mom and dad, no doubt, definitely is into being very happy and all.
Yeah.
So the gang meets Bertrand, and he tells them how miserable he is at the cruise ship because he's into dark things. Obviously, he's up to goth stuff, but then if the cruise is definitely so much different, considering there's so much bright stuff around, karaoke, conga line, toga parties, etc. So obviously he's not having a good time. So what are your thoughts on Bertram's situation here? Would you want him to escape this cruise?
Honestly, if I were in this cruise, I'd be having the time of my life. But of course, I'm not goth like he is. So let's just say that if I were goth, if I would be in the shoes, I'd probably feel the same way myself. Just saying. Also, look at this. Look what they did to Bertram. They converted Bertram.
They tanned him for one thing, and also, yeah, he's not even goth at all. He literally is just wearing purple. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and shorts. And what?
Conversion. They converted Bertram.
But the thing is that he was there for a year. I mean, if you're gonna spend another year in this is gonna definitely change you. He may not be goth anymore next year.
Yeah, no, he's gonna end up looking like that.
I thought it was hilarious too. When they first come up, the Morticians Club was looking for Bertram, and Bertram just comes up like this, all tanned up with a sunglass tan and Hawaiian shirt. He definitely was, quote, fitting in with the cruise. So it's wow, you definitely changed after 1 year. Maybe 1 year has definitely got you.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that.
Oh my god. But yeah, I can totally see Bertram is definitely miserable considering that his goth life is totally gone. So obviously, the Morticians Club is there to help him out of this rut. What are your thoughts on having the Morticians Club come by and helping was it Bertram out of this?
This really does show the amount of chemistry that the Morticians Club has with one another. I like the fact how like they're not just a club, but they're also a group of friends, like true friends, up to a point where like the rest of the Morticians Club will go out of the way, even if it's through a like happy-go-lucky boat, just to go and save their friend Bertram.
For Bertram, though, I know that he definitely does love the goth life. It's just that obviously when you have so many perky stuffs over here at a cruise, the goth life is not going to help you. So yeah, the Morticians Club will try to help Bertram out of his situation. So they do a lot of plans. First off, they try to tie a pelican. They try to tie him to a pelican so he can fly off the ship, and that didn't work out. It turned out he actually drowned. And they also try to put him into a coffin, which to be fair was hilarious because he was like literally they were walking him out where there's a lot of old people too. So I'm kind of thinking there's old people actually realize that it's coming up soon, that their life is coming up soon.
Yeah, they were like they were like carrying the coffin like. Oh, I love that one.
And they also tried to drench him in sunscreen and then make him go through a slide and get him out of the boat as well, and that didn't work out as well. So these plans are kind of weird, but they at least tried to help Bertram out of this situation. What are your thoughts on these plans that popped up?
Of course, all these plans, like it's more of a trial and error sort of thing. But I do like how each of these plans really stand out with their creativity and how they really take advantage of Bertram being goth. Of course, the pelican thing, not so much, but oh my god, this is probably my favorite one where they carry him into the coffin. This is probably my favorite one.
Look, you're literally having old people literally see a coffin. So it's like, guys, your time is coming. Are you guys scared?
I mean, this guy appears to be
looking at him.
This guy appears to be. Look at that. He's like, no, I'm next, aren't I?
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, are the old people even freaking out considering a coffin is literally right there? Maybe an old person literally died in the cruise. Oh, this is great. That was great, by the way. I thought it was hilarious just seeing that. And then of course there's also the last plan too, where they try to put sunscreen on him, and that didn't work out either. Tried to slip out of the way.
Yeah, look. Yeah, I mean, he's all covered in sunscreen. And of course, we thought that it would work. We thought it almost worked. It was almost there. We thought the sunscreen would help, but alas, just like the other plans before it, it falls flat on his face.
And the other thing too is that in each plan, we always get to see his dad rescue him. So, your thoughts on Bertram's dad?
Bertram's dad, like, he is such a friendly man. He's a really nice dude who is always looking out for his son. And I like the fact that just like his wife, just like Bertram's mom, Bertram's dad also accepts Bertrand and his friends for who they are. Like, he doesn't mock them in any way, just because they're different from him. No, he treats them as they are, like people. That's something to respect.
Right. At least like he's a good dad. He also cares for his son, even if his son is gothic, and apparently like his son doesn't tell his parents, etc. And also another thing too, what's up with the pelicans here? Like the pelican definitely is a big time thing in these scenes here, where it's like, oh, the pelican was trying to fly him off. Oh, the pelican made him trip. Oh, the pelican did this in that last scene. What's happening here? Is it like pelicans are like the worst enemy?
Yeah, look, yeah, I mean, honestly, I look at this and I'm just like, wow, you got to get, a pelican involved in that. You got to tie him up and all that stuff. It's like, I'm kind of wondering how strong his wings are because I don't think he'll carry that much weight.
Still, pelicans, I believe, is like the theme here. I don't know. A pelican pretty much gave him tickets. A pelican gave him the letter. A pelican is tripping them up when it comes to these plans. So
how helpful is this pelican? Like that pelican is very helpful.
He was not really helpful. He wasn't really helpful when he was trying to get Bertram out.
But he did help them out with the tickets. I'm just like, how did he manage to eat up those tickets?
I don't know. Some sort of gothic thing to actually curse a pelican. I don't know.
Must be.
So just when Bertram's about to give up, he then comes up with a plan to get the cruise canceled by haunting and scaring away all the guests of the ship. It's what actually did work out in the end. So explain your thoughts on this whole haunting that they were doing while the cruise was happening.
Like, wow, the show that they put out there, I know that it was essentially to get the cruise canceled, but my God, they put on quite a show. It really does feel like you're in this like haunted cruise sort of thing. And I like the fact how they build up this horror, spooky atmosphere in the boat. And you can tell that they look legit scared. That tells you that these Morticians Club, like, they're really creative. Like, they're really spot on with what they do.
I mean, it's a haunting, so all they gotta do is just pretty much scare people. Like, obvious, like, I'm just gonna cut through these scenes. Like, obviously, they did a really good job with it, considering how everybody was pretty much all freaked out. I mean, everybody was pretty much all freaked out.
Yeah, and of course, I don't expect any less from Lucy. Like, Lucy Loud is the goth girl who was in charge of a haunted corn maze in Tricks. So, of course, it's to be expected of Lucy's level.
I do have to say this for this one scene here. This is a reference to the Dreamboat.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It kind of felt like it, right? Considering the girl looked like the girl that was always being in dates for the Dreamboat, right?
it's the actress, and I think that she's looking at this and she's like, worst proposal ever. Huh?
They also got scared with that as well. So to say the least, yeah, they all end up having a great time. I mean, even Bertram was even being a part of the act as well, like scaring people in the karaoke room. So
I love that. It was a nice touch from Morticians Club.
So yeah, the Morticians Club, no doubt, definitely had an amazing time doing a scaring like that. I look at this scene and I'm like, wow, you definitely did have a great time, huh, girl? Huh, guys?
This really does show. This really does show.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that, though. In the end, they still have the cruise happen. Apparently, it was all an act, according to what everyone else said. So they were still having breakfast. Everybody's still having a cool time. And in the end, literally, they thought it was just all an act. So the cruise is not canceled, and the plan pretty much backfired. So what are your thoughts hearing about that?
Yeah, honestly, when I saw them eating breakfast, all stuff, like as if nothing can happen, I'm just in there like, okay, they totally thought that it was an act. They totally thought that it was a way to make the cruise even more excited. You could just tell. Like, of course, when you see these goth kids putting on this act, you never thought that they would actually try to cancel them until they would tell the parents eventually, of course.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought I don't know. I thought if anything, I thought they were actually going to, make it work at the end, but no.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of like how it feels like if, like, let's say you're a Disney cruise and they put on some sort of like haunted mansion sort of theme into it. That's what it feels like.
Kind of does, right? Okay, so yeah, the plan didn't work out, and Bertram would have to eventually tell his parents that he didn't feel happy being on the cruise. And in the end, the mom and dad actually agreed. So they actually would send Bertram to his aunt, which actually has a lot of snakes. And that actually ended up working out for Bertram. So to say the least, Bertram is actually out of the cruise and is actually going to be staying in Royal Woods. So how did you like this ending here for Bertram?
I like the fact how Bertram's parents are so understanding of the fact that Bertram isn't exactly having the best time in the cruise ship. Like I said before, Bertram's parents are really wholesome people. They're especially really great parents because of the simple fact that they understand where Bertram is coming from. They respect his interests, even if they're different from theirs. And just by the fact that they have an alternative plan to have Bertram be sent to his aunt's house so that he could be comfortable. That is just really wholesome stuff. Like, honestly, that makes me like respect Bertram's parents so like very much.
No doubt, most definitely. But yeah, I mean, no doubt they actually do care for Bertram, and I believe this is like maybe his best parents to say. I mean, you might think that these parents are kind of like, oh, why are you into God stuff? Oh, I want you to church back into, us, just try to love the cruise and all that. But in the end, they actually do care for him. And now this makes me think, will we see Bertram in the next Morticians Club episode? And I really hope so, because that continuity is still there, which means, hey, Bertram is back, but Lucy's the president. So if anything, hey, Bertram is back. At least we get to see him now.
Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, Haikyuu, why aren't you taking charge? Didn't both you and Lucy come to a tie and great mistake? Aren't you both presidents?
No, but in the end, Lucy literally was the one leading everything now. So I'm guessing like Haikyuu pretty much said, hey, you just take the presidency. But then now you have Bertram back. So it's telling me like Bertram probably won't be the president. He probably will still be a member of the Morticians Club. And Lucy's going to run the whole thing now. So, hey, at least that's something good for her.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy for Lucy.
All right, but I got nothing else to say here. I mean, do you have anything else to bring up from the Loathe Boat?
Nothing much I want to say except that it's nice to like give character to a Morticians Club member that isn't losing Haikyuu or Boris. Like it's really nice to see that. I kind of want to see episodes focused on more of these background Morticians Club characters.
Yes, please. I would love to actually have that. Maybe a Persephone episode or a Dante episode. You know, something like that. Any of the other Morticians Club members to have their own episode. I mean, I love the fact we have a Bertram episode. I'm like, oh my god, we're looking back into season 3. I can't believe we're actually remembering Bertram. That was God. That literally said he was gonna leave. He was literally gonna leave the Loud House because of this cruise, and now we're seeing him again in this cruise. Holy crap! It's been a year. Wow, 3 seasons equals a year, I guess.
Like I said, give more character to the Morticians Club members.
Exactly, yeah. All right, so I got to say nothing else to say. Let's go straight to our reviews, to our ratings to this episode. Omid, Loathe Boat, how would you rate this episode?
I would rate this episode a 8 out of 10. Definitely a good episode, and it's nice to see some focus getting, it's nice to see a background Morticians Club character getting focus. It's nice to see Bertrand again after a great mistake, and it's nice to see the Morticians Club helping Bertrand get out of the cruise. And of course, Bertrand's parents are definitely like better than what you expect on the surface. Like they're actually turned out to be very nice and very understanding people. So honestly, definitely nice, good stuff for the Loathe Boat.
What I love most especially about this episode is the fact that we're bringing back a character from season 3. I'm like, wow, we're bringing back this character. I didn't know that we're going to see him again because he literally left the Loud House in season 3, and then now he's back, and now we're going to see him again in the Morticians Club activities, which is great. Now he's back in Royal Woods. Now he's going to be part of the Morticians Club, which means more Bertram and a lot of other things. So I'm pretty happy the fact that we get to see Bertram again and that he's actually back with the Morticians Club. And we also get to see more about Bertram, the fact that his family actually cares for him, even if they're not goth like him. And of course, the Morticians Club being an awesome group, like trying to help Bertram out and also doing this whole haunting thing, which, they always love to do. I thought this was amazing. I thought this was a great episode. No doubt. I think that the big topper was definitely having Bertram back. So hopefully in the next Morticians Club episode, we get to see Bertram again. I got to give this like an 8 out of 10. Like I said, a little bit of hiccups here and there, but overall, I get the point of the episode. At least, like I said, I love the fact that we end up getting another character back and having him have his spotlight again. And now we get to see more episodes with Bertram now with Lucy and Morticians Club.
Yeah, definitely. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. All right. Now let's head over straight to the second half. We go straight to September with these episodes that came out. The first one that came out was called Crash Course. The Lori episode. Oh, yeah, it's my turn now.
Yes.
So let's start off with the synopsis here. The Loud siblings intervene when they think Lori is failing out of Fairway U. Now, the first episode begins with Lincoln trying to open a suspicious package sent by Ronnie Ann. Wait, Ronnie Ann? She's in this episode?
Yeah, apparently, like it was said like maybe somewhere in the flashbacks, like for 1 second, but it was supposed to be Ronnie Ann being mentioned rather than being in it.
Well, still, I mean, Ronnie Ann is technically sent this to Lincoln, and obviously, Ronnie Ann fans are definitely going to be all hype about this. I would imagine. That tells me like, oh, hey, Ronnie Ann is still part of the Loud House, guys. Hey, Ronnie Ann is still here.
Yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, Ronnie can mention. Let's go. Like, honestly, like we'll take it. We'll take Ronnie Ann being mentioned by Lincoln, and we'll definitely take Ronnie Ann actually saying something to Lincoln, even if it's just a prank. We'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take it. I mean, if anything, there's that whole link of Lincoln and Ronnie Ann in this episode, but Ronnie Ann sending stuff to Lincoln. And just a heads up, that's also a callback to a recent episode. I mean, sorry, a season 2 episode, if you remember correctly. Remember
Back out there.
Yeah, remember Ronnie Ann always sends pranks to Lincoln, so a little shout out again. Continuity is still happening here.
Yes, like I love that, just by the fact that like back out there, it's pretty much a prelude to Ronnie Ann's prank packages to Lincoln. That was just a start. Like this is gonna be like a new trend now.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, like Ronnie Ann's prank has been getting a little bit more dangerous to say. I mean, the last prank we saw back out there, he literally just threw a pie at him. But then we get stinky diapers. We end up getting him getting egged in Christmas time, and even having Sergio even come to his house.
Ronnie, you've gone too far this time.
So what are your thoughts? I was thinking the pranks are getting better for Ronnie Ann.
Like each prank is worse than the last.
And even in this prank that Ronnie Ann was gonna give up, I mean, it was a catch-up little disaster that if Lincoln opened it up, ketchup was gonna be flowing everywhere.
Yeah, and of course we see the ketchup flowing when we see Lily open it up, and then the ketchup flows all over Lisa's room. And I like what I like was that little image of Luann pretty much being like, okay, I'm done with this. I should be the prank master, not Ronnie Ann, all that stuff. I kind of like Luann's deadpan look.
I saw that. But yeah, let's move on ahead, because in that package, we actually get to see Laurie's report card. And it turned out Laurie is not having good grades, apparently in the 60s, which means like a D grade. So they have a loud sibling meeting, and they plan to make sure Laurie focuses on her studies. So what are your thoughts on the loud siblings trying to get more involved with Laurie's grades to say?
Now, I understand why they did it. I understand they had really good intentions of doing so. But let's just say that the last time they tried to pretty much butt into Laurie's life, it didn't really go so well. Take a look at Cheater by the Dozen, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that episode. Mm-hmm. There's a lot.
But unlike that episode where it focuses on them thinking that Laurie is getting cheated, Crash Course, however, it has nothing to do with Bobby. If anything, it's about them being concerned with Laurie's grades and her future, which if you look at these rankings there, if you look at that percentage, I'm just like, yeah, they do not look good. At least not by regular college grade standards.
Here's the thing. I'm a golfer myself. So this hurts me to hear the family thought that this was bad grades. So it's like, 68, 67, 65. That's actually normal for an 18-hole course.
Yeah, I never played golf, so when I looked at this, I kind of thought that they were bad grades.
I was like 6, 7, 7, sorry, all these numbers, and I'm like, dude, Laurie's excelling. So literally, when I first heard about this episode and I heard about this problem, I'm like, this is not a problem to me. So when I come into this episode, I'm like, dude, she's succeeding. Guys, you will, like, I knew already what the problem was going to be. And obviously the ending, we'll get to it a bit, but I knew that was going to be the ending.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm looking at this and I understand most of the loud siblings not really knowing that, okay, these are just golf grades. You don't need to worry about those. Those are just golf scores. Honestly, one character I felt should have known better when it comes to that sort of thing is Lynn. Because if you look at Lynn, you know that Lynn is pretty much really passionate about sports and all kinds of sports. And you would think that like golf would be one of the things that she would know about. Like she would know about.
To be fair, she's into more extreme sports and like, wrestling and stuff like that. And like soccer and baseball and football and all that stuff. Golf is like secondary compared to what Lynn was into back in the, in those times. So like we get to see her play all these sports, but golf definitely, I don't think it's one of them. If anything, yeah, Lynn should know better to know about golf, considering Laurie's the golfer and that's a sport. I thought Laurie could actually teach Lynn a thing or two about golf to say.
Yeah, that was just so weird. Like, even if it's not an extreme sport, it actually is still a sport regardless. So I felt like Lynn should have at least looked into it, and she would have been like, "Chill, guys. It's not as bad as you think. They're just golf scores." Lloyd told me about it.
Well, I don't know. I just felt like I don't know. I feel like Lynn would not know about golf, considering that it's not like a tough sport to say. It's more like a chill sport. But here's the thing, though. In that sibling meeting, we get to see Lori just having the time of her life. And then if she continues to have that time of her life, apparently from Lisa's animation, she's going to start working at Flip's Food and Fuel and start feeding pudding to Scoots. And I'm like, what the heck what kind of animation are you trying to show off here, Lisa?
Yeah. Lori's future doesn't seem to be looking bright, according to what Lisa says. Anyway, you look at her Swifty post, for example, which is very similar to Instagram, and then you think to yourself, okay, yeah, Lori's definitely not keeping busy at all. Like, she is pretty much enjoying her college life, her Fairway U life. Let's be real here. We've all had the moment where we kind of slack off on our studies and we just live the college life, living the life.
This hurts me a lot, though. I'm like, oh, why would you do that? Why would you show Lori working with Flip? This is terrible.
This is a fate worse than death. Okay, this is actually fate worse than death. I'm just like,
I get how college could be. If you become a college dropout, this will happen to you, which, to be fair, could happen to you. But yeah, I when I heard that, I'm like, bro, no, stop the torture. I don't want to see Lori feed Scoots to pudding to Scoots or anything.
Yeah, no, me neither. Yeah, me neither. Honestly, from that point of view, I can understand why the Loud siblings would do what they did.
So the thing now is that they want to go with a plan. So the siblings are going to actually head over to Lori's school and go in disguises, trying to make sure that Lori focuses on academics. What are your thoughts of Lincoln being the man with the plan with this plan that he got going on?
Once again, the man with the plan is definitely in on the action once again. And this time, he's collaborating with the other Louds. I like how Lisa Loud is pretty much the co-woman with the plan. Like, she pretty much is secondary to... She plays the co-planner with Lincoln, and it's just fun to see the two pretty much work together, using their brains and wits and planning a lot of kind of stuff.
I thought that was pretty neat for him, but then again, Lincoln being the man with the plan, I mean, I'm guessing this is how things are going to be. I mean, say Earl Woods, for example, definitely he is the man with the plan. Now he's doing this to help Lori out, and I thought that was just pretty cool for him to do that. And the fact that he's leading the whole crowd, it's leading the whole siblings to helping Lori out, so was pretty neat. So now they head straight to Lori's place. And of course, you get to see Lori pretty much slack off. Not really slack off, but more like just going around, not doing her studies. So obviously, the siblings got to do whatever it takes to make sure that she is studying. First thing they do is to get her off her electronics. What was your thoughts on that scene there?
Yo, like, if anybody messes with my electronics, they're dead. Like, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. I understand you're trying to get Lori to study, but still, though, like disconnecting her Wi-Fi, disconnecting her electronics. I'm just thinking to myself,
look at her. Too far. She's planning. She's just posting a picture on Instagram, and she's talking to her Bobby Boo Boo Bear. And FYI, Bobby's back. Hey, Bobby.
Oh, hi, Bobby. How are you? Haven't seen you since Casa Grande's a few weeks ago. Anyway, like, back into this. Like, I understand what they're doing, but let's just say that if that were me and someone did that to my Wi-Fi, did that to my power, let me tell you, they're in for being turned into human pretzels.
My thing here is the fact that these disguises that they're wearing were pretty neat. Luann being in a chef outfit, Lola being in a chef outfit too, and then trying to feed her spaghetti.
And look at those like fake mustaches. Those very thick mustaches.
Lola's reminds me of Warrior for some reason.
It kind of does. Except not as sharp. You know how Warrior's mustache is pretty much sharp on the edges?
Right.
Lola's not so much. It sort of reminds me of Luigi in a sense.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, obviously they did actually work with the plan of disconnecting her electronic devices. Yeah, I would be like that too.
Exactly. I would be like that myself. Like, oh my God, look at this. You almost made Lori cry. Shame on you.
Ah, why would you do that to my girl, Lori? Ah. All right, moving on. So, Bobby. So here's the thing. The next scene that came up was what was it? Lori was going to plan to hang out with her friends, but Luna would actually come up to become a of Lori's dorm room and tell her it's a golf lane. So pretty much Luna's trying to help Lori out when it comes to um, making sure Lori studies. Your thoughts seeing Luna help out in this situation?
I actually thought to myself, how does she pull off that, manly man accent? Like she pulls it off to a T. Like she's some kind of voice impressionist or something like that. But then again, that's pretty much the benefit of being in the same room as Luann Loud. So, Luann Loud is really into theater. So Luna Loud must have picked up voice impressions, voice acting from Luann.
Probably, but still, I mean, this is a way to just make sure Lori studies, I guess. And then even either way, Lori would still continue to go to her friend's place, but then also would get ransacked by a possum. Again, Lana also helping out, trying to make sure Lori studies.
Yeah, when I looked at this, I thought to myself, that is definitely Lana's pet. Okay, I feel I've seen Duncan the possum in previous episodes. That definitely looks familiar to me.
Right. So now that it looks like Lori is about to pretty much study for her stuff. But the problem is, more things come awry. Bobby comes over and panic because Lori hasn't responded to her calls. So she doesn't have any plans to stay and study, which relieves the Loud siblings knowing that she'll stay focused on her studies. How relieved are you to know that Lori is now back on track with her studies?
It actually makes me think to myself, good on Lori for finally being on track with her studies, of course, and of course the Loud siblings did good in order to make sure she's on top of it, even if it's overbearing, even if it's a bit overbearing. They had the best. They had good intentions. They had her best interest in heart, and all this stuff. It made me think to myself, finally things are going to start getting better report card wise, but alas, it doesn't appear to be possible from what we've seen in the next scene.
So to say the least, they did do their part and actually made sure that Lori is studying. But again, the grades come in and she still gets on getting lower grades. So it didn't work out in the end, apparently, quote unquote. The Loud scheme to have Lori picked up by what makes it even worse, she has 62. So now it's up to them to ensure that she doesn't end up with a failing grade. So when you saw the 62, did you fear for Lori and her future, considering that she's getting lower and lower scores?
Like I said, as someone who's never played golf, at any point in my life, like I'd never watched golf, I'd never played golf like you have, Nate. So when I looked at this, I thought to myself, "Ooh, yeah, that's actually worse." I don't know what happened, Lori. Like I thought you were, more responsible than that. But I guess there's no stopping you and your distractions.
I in this case, in your case, yeah, because you don't play golf, I do, and I'm like, dude, she's getting better. So now their plans didn't work. So in the end, they're going to actually go back to Fairy University, and this time be in disguise. Was it Fairy you be able to disguise as Lori? Think it's written test, but it actually revealed to be an actual golfing test. Ah, God. Where she's not really failing at all. Louds realize they messed up. Okay, I gotta say this. Let's go straight to the disguise first. How did you feel about Lincoln and this disguise that they're working with?
I really like the fact how it's pretty much three characters being placed on top of the other. Where you got Lynn, who's at the bottom, Lincoln, who's at the middle, Lisa at the top. It sort of reminds me of that Orlando Bloom disguise from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. You remember that?
Oh God, yeah.
They do a similar thing like that. They do a similar thing like that, but in this case, it's Lisa disguising herself as Lori, and of course, even though Lisa and Lori, they are sisters, they do sort of look different. So I'm just wondering how these two like the professors, the coaches don't really see right through that disguise. But then again, that's just me speculating.
here's my thing about this. How the heck did this Dean not actually see through this disguise? This looks pretty obvious that it's Lisa or somebody else, not Lori.
Exactly. It's just like, it's sort of similar to that problem I had with Skaters Gonna Hate, where it's pretty much a disguise that's so obvious that, you know, like anyone who anyone who doesn't even have that good of a memory would look at this and say, yeah, that's definitely not that character who I thought it was. But again, that's just me finding little things to complain about.
So you have a disguised Lori pretty much roaming around Fairwood University, but where's the real Lori? Apparently, she's driving with Lenny to get a lunch. Obviously, the plan was to make sure that Lori is away from the campus. Your thoughts on this?
Like I said, I do see what the Louths are doing, but at the end, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, I can't help but feel bad for poor Lori. Like, Lori is supposed to be somewhere doing the test.
Lori has a test. Lori has a test to do, and you guys are just pretty much lacking her. What's going on here?
But she's being held hostage by some of her Louth sisters, so you gotta admit that's a bit of an uncomfortable situation for her.
Although a little bit of an uncomfortable situation here. Apparently, Lenny still is kind of like shaky of a driver in this episode. She went through traffic. She is the same old ditz of Lenny, but heck, she's still driving at least.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how Lenny is still able to drive so well, despite the fact that she clearly, didn't pass. And she didn't really pass. I'm still kind of peeved about, the resolution in Driver's Dread, by the way. So I'm thinking to myself, Lenny must have, here's the theory. Lenny must have, continued to practice driving off screen. But then again, that off screen argument can only go so far.
I see. So yeah, it turns out that the whole test. So here's the thing: the disguised Lori was going to get the test, but they also realized that the test was going to be a 18-hole course. Which, to be fair, now they realize. Lisa actually now realizes, this is what tests are supposed to be in Fairway U. Of course, she's succeeding. Scores are supposed to be lower in order for you to succeed in a golf university. So yeah. So the thing now is they now realize that it's an actual golf test that they got to work with. The Louths realize they messed up and they try to get Lori back to take the test. So what are your thoughts on this big reveal?
Yeah, it was actually kind of a big twist for those that don't play golf, but for those that do play golf, they saw it coming from a mile away. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, okay, the Louth siblings did have good intentions, but it was sort of like the wrong way to show it. Like I would have said, okay, maybe they should have, talked to Lori about, hey, what's up? How are your grades? But again, that would be Lori coming to the conclusion that they would be overbearing. So of course they would have to do it in secret. Because like I said before, it worked so well in Cheater by the Dozen. Am I right?
Right, I would say. But the other thing too is that they have to bring Lori back, and of course the disguised Lori has to try to do the test while Lori is trying to get back into Fairwood University. But things start to go awry. Where the car actually did end up getting a flat tire. Lynn now is Lori, and she's doing a bad job, to say the least. It's not going well. So how are the siblings doing now, considering that it's going all bad for Lori?
Yeah, honestly. Lenny, of course, being her ditzy self, actually did flatten the tire, even though it wasn't really supposed to be, flatten the tire. But it's typical Lenny Louth stuff. What can you really do? And then, of course, Lynn Louth being terrible at golf. It really just goes to show that golf is definitely not her strong sport because, like you said, Nate, like Lynn's mainly into extreme sports. She's not really into calm sports like, golf like Lori is. So, of course, she would do bad.
I mean, she did really bad, and she ended up getting angry about that.
She also bended the putter. So you could tell that she's got that, rage, that losing rage that she often has, displayed whenever she loses.
So then there's also these scenes where like they try to stall time for Professor Niblick to not give Lori the test. So you get to see scenes where Luann tried to do like a comedy act right in front of him. There was also Lana. There's also Lana with the gator, and then also Lincoln also tried to judge like a flagpole, and then he actually pokes Professor Niblick into a lake. So to say the least, this is going awry to say. They're just trying to stall time to make sure Lori comes back on time, but in the process, you do end up trying to make Professor Niblick kind of like you're ruining Professor Niblick here.
I know, seriously.
I just feel like they didn't really do a good job with the disguises in this case here. So like they did well in the first time around, but then when they came back here, it felt like things are just going to fall into place now.
Especially when you look at through their obvious disguises, like their disguises in the second half, they're totally obvious, especially with Lincoln. It's just Lincoln with the hat and the bushy mustache. I'm just like, I've seen Lincoln actually have much more clever disguises than that.
Right, exactly, but I don't know. So here's the thing. At the end, Lori does come back, but unfortunately, time is up, and the coach said Lori had failed the exam. You guys did a really good job. You guys did a really good job. Thanks, Loud family. So the Loud siblings confessed that they thought Lori was failing, and they were trying to get Lori back on track. Obviously, Lori was mad, but of course, Lori does understand that they care for their big sister. What are your thoughts on this scene here, where the family actually apologizes and Lori cares, and that Lori understands the situation?
Now, this is not the first time that we've seen this particular scene happen. Like I said before, this all goes back to Cheater by the Dozen, where it's very similar in a way that it follows kind of the same plot as Cheater by the Dozen, where it's pretty much this. Like the Loud siblings find out that Lori is in trouble or in a situation. The Loud siblings try to resolve the situation by being a bit using overbearing tendencies. Lori finds out. Lori gets mad. The Loud siblings apologize, and then Lori takes a deep breath and says that she understands that that they're doing what they do because, well, they love and appreciate her. They want to make sure what's best for her and all that stuff. Yeah, this is pretty much like, this is sort of like a golf, college version of Cheater by the Dozen in a sense. It has similar similar vibes to it.
Still, though, I mean, I understand the siblings are trying to take care of Lori. It definitely does kind of reflect towards Cheater by the Dozen, but look, she's in college. She knows what she's doing. I understand that the Loud siblings were helping her out in the situation, knowing that her grades were, quote, failing, but they weren't. But in the end, at least what mattered was the fact that the Louds do care about Lori, and I think that was the whole lesson in this, even if Lori didn't need the help at all. So in the end, they need to find a way for Lori to take the test, and what better way to do it than an alligator? Your thoughts on this plan here?
Oh my gosh! I really like this alligator. Like, this alligator actually proves to be kind of a helpful ally, and then of course the alligator has sort of a wide mouth. Of course, you see him like he almost eats Professor Niblick. He almost eats him.
I mean, you pretty much put Professor Niblick hostage, literally just like letting him, like, you're about to, like, you really threaten him to say, "Hey, make sure Lori takes this test," and she passes, obviously, because of this. And of course, Lana knows animals, so it makes sense why she ends up summoning an alligator out of the lake.
It's true, and I think that she actually does. We've seen her. I think like she has trained him up to the point where it's like, okay, you can have him in your mouth, but no eating, no swallowing.
But nonetheless, Lori ends up passing the class, and all is well for Lori in this episode. So yeah, congrats to Lori. Now she's continuing on in college, and now I think the Louds are learning their lesson from pretty much like, what is it, intruding on Lori's lessons or something now. But yeah, I got nothing else to say. I do want to say one thing about this episode though. When I saw this scene, it reminded me of a certain episode, and I'm like, oh, we're bringing back the chest, aren't we?
Yes, one of my favorite season 1 episodes, Cover Girls.
Cover Girls actually brought back, but the other thing too is that he also did bring it back in season Shadings as well. So it's like, okay, cool, you actually brought back the chest. So the Master of Disguises is here, and your disguises are in that chest. So it's great to see that again. So
that big
continuity, it's there, guys. It's there.
I love
it.
Yes.
But that's all I can say. Anything else you want to bring up from this episode?
Nothing much I want to say except I want to see more of this. I want to see more of episodes where it focuses on Laurie's life in Fairway U. And we did get it recently with another episode that has come out the previous week. But I'm thinking to myself, why haven't you done this sooner? Why did you do this in a season 5? You technically did do it in season 5, but we know how that episode turned out. It didn't turn out that great. Whereas here, it focuses on like Laurie's Fairway University, focusing on like real slice of life situations.
I think they learned their lesson after that special. Okay. And then I forgot one more thing. Hey, are we glad to see David Steele again?
David Steele.
Yeah, this guy loves David Steele, but we love Lincoln as David Steele too. I mean, we already talked about lights, camera, nuclear reaction. So
David Steele is our James Bond. David Steele is our James Bond.
Yeah, I definitely miss Lincoln as the David Steele for sure. All right, but yeah, I got nothing else to say. Omid, what are your thoughts on this episode, Crash Course?
I'm definitely gonna get this an 8.5 out of 10. Of course, it's so good to see Laurie in her Fairway University life. We haven't seen Laurie Loud in so long. We haven't seen Laurie in Fairway University for so long, and I like the fact how the Loud siblings are so concerned, like they're so involved in Laurie's college life. It makes me think how like deeply they care about Laurie's future. Like even if it actually turns out to be a big mistake at the end because they didn't know that the scores were actually good rather than bad. It's nice to see them go out of the way to help Laurie focus on her studies. Yeah, I mean, it does feel a bit like Cheater by the Dozen, but Crash Course pretty much goes its own path. They do that sort of plot in a more unique approach to it.
Okay, to say the least, like I said, I know the episode was going to happen the way that it's going to end. Like, as a golfer myself, I was like, oh, 62, 64, 65. Okay, that's great. That's great scores. But then, of course, the Loud siblings are like, no, these are terrible scores. They're D scores. And I'm like, no, this isn't correct. So, obviously, when I watch this episode, I'm like, I know the ending now. So, it hurts me as a golfer to see this go that way. I thought this episode was okay, not really the best episode, because I love the fact that they care for Laurie, but the gimmicks that happened, the disguises that kept going on, I felt like they were pretty clever, but at the same time, I don't find it funny. And in the end, they end up actually failing. They actually ending up failing for Laurie, considering that Laurie almost failed a test. Thankfully, Lana came in with an alligator to pretty much threaten Professor Niblick. And I'm like, really? This is how it's going to end? So, not my favorite episode to say. I mean, I miss Laurie. She's amazing. She's awesome in this episode. She is the golfer that I love. And yeah, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, this is not a way to do it. I feel like this was a meh of an episode. So I give this a 6.5 out of 10. I believe the other episode that's coming up that we're going to review next week is going to be a little bit better. So you'll wait for that review next week for sure.
Yes, get ready for that.
All right. Now, last but not least, the episode also aired that same day, and it's also my absolute amazing episode to bring up because it's one of my favorite characters, and no doubt about it, the best one of the best episodes I probably have ever seen. Okay, and no bias. Let's talk about Stella Performance. Yeah,
Stella Performance. Yeah. Yeah, it's the long-awaited Stella Focus episode that we have been waiting for.
We've all been talking about it, that we're going to have a Stella episode, and now it's finally here. And as a person who is Filipino, and she's Filipino, and then she's amazing, she's cute, she's also voiced by Haley Sue, also voices Marcy Wu, blah, blah, blah. Yes, Stella's having an episode. So, yeah, I am no doubt happy to see this. So when I saw this episode come up, obviously, my hopes are high, and it actually did reach that peak to say. So I'll explain more when we review this episode. So let's go ahead and talk about synopsis here. So Stella went to school competition and is super excited until she learned that she had to give a public presentation. So this episode starts with Stella presenting her invention, this coaster toaster, to the science fair. She would win first place, and to Principal Ramirez saying Stella is going to go to the state fair and actually present that to her, present her school project to the state fair. It just tells you that she's going to come in, also give us public speech. But at the same time, you also get to see one of her flaws. So Stella's not the perfect girl that we know about. She apparently has a flaw, and it is public speaking. When you first heard about that, I mean, what were your thoughts knowing that Stella isn't okay with public speaking?
Yeah, I looked at this and I thought to myself, poor Stella. Like honestly, I felt bad for her that okay, I felt proud of her that she won the science fair. Like she won her opportunity to speak in front of the whole crowd in for her state science fair stuff. But that's where I get to feel sorry for her because unfortunately she has a fear of public speaking, and it all stems from her flashback of when she accidentally called the teacher mommy. And so that's what developed her fear of public speaking. I'm thinking to myself, that's a really realistic situation for anyone who has had a fear of public speaking. Okay, like I know that there are a lot of people that can relate to Stella at that moment, and that's what I love about this because it actually gives her a legitimate character flaw that makes her that really separates her from the rest. Like we know Stella's flaw is that she has a fear of public speaking.
My thing is that look, you never see flaws from like characters. You always see a lot of flaws from other characters like Lincoln, like Rusty, like Liam, like Zach. They have their flaws, but then we never get to see more focus on Stella. Like we the last time we saw Stella have her own episode was Tales of Woe. And it's an episode where he was trying to find a box, or just trying to find a music box. And I thought that was also a really awesome episode. But the thing is that ever since then, we never see her actually have any flaws. We thought she was just a perfect little girl. We remember where it just reminds me of Marcy Wu. Oh, we thought she was a perfect little girl, and then she had her flaws.
No character is perfect. No character is perfect.
Yeah, no character is perfect, and this is one that I think is relative to everybody. I mean, like, look, you're in junior high. You have to make a public speech in front of a lot of people, and it makes sense to have this fear. And knowing her past, having that fear lingered on to now. Like she apparently said that this was actually back at her old previous school that she started to have the fear of public speaking. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, to me, when I was back in that kind of age, I understand, like I had that same fear of public speaking. You can't really speak to everybody. I will probably be nervous. I might actually sweat, and, do all this kind of stuff, probably like mix my words, which to be fair, Stella did have. And we get to see that whole flashback, by the way, where we get to see Stella, as a little kid, I think like in elementary, try to give a speech out to her teacher. She turned out to say like all the right words until she said mommy, and then everybody started to tease on her. So I felt so bad for Stella, especially the fact that she made that big slip up. What were your thoughts when you heard Stella say the words mommy and then it just went all downhill for her?
Yeah, I definitely felt bad for her when the other students laughed at her. I'm thinking to myself, hey, you leave poor Stella alone, okay? Like Stella is precious cinnamon. She doesn't deserve to be made fun of. But then look at this. Like Stella, look at the, blushy face. And she feels embarrassed by what she said. Like, oh my gosh, small Stella. You don't mess with small Stella.
I just felt so bad for her in this scene, just because like everybody was teasing her, and then she's trying her best to defend herself. She said like, "Oh, I was supposed to say mentor, not mommy. I told her she's my mommy. No, not my mentor." And then she just keeps on slipping up, and then a lot of people keep on laughing at her, and it's so sad that she had to run away at the end. Oh, it's like my heart got broken. Well, my poor little Stella, she had to be like this.
Poor small Stella.
Oh my god. Oh, I felt so bad for small Stella. It was so. Okay, so yeah, it's a big fan of Stella. Obviously, you get to hear the heartbreak on me. But yeah, Stella definitely had that fear of public speaking, and at the end, even as it lingers on to middle school, the fear of public speaking still happens to her. So now she has to go trust her friends to help her out, and the first person that comes up is Rusty. She calls it the Spokes School of Swagger. Rusty teaches her about positive affirmation, having the good senses, including sense of smell, and the swagger strut. So what are your thoughts on Rusty's trying to get Stella out of her ruts of public speaking?
Yeah, I'm actually felt the same as the rest of Rusty's friends. I too was a bit skeptical on Rusty's.
I was like literally saying like, why would you listen to Rusty out of all people? But then again, like she literally straight off the bat said, yeah, I agree, and I'm like, really? You would trust him more than like Lincoln or Clyde?
Yeah, I think it's because like Stella's desperate to learn about how to, get rid of the fear of public speaking. So of course she wants to use any kind of measure that she can, even if it is through Rusty.
Not I would say Rusty though is a show off, and I'm like, why would you go for a person like him? I mean, you could at least got to Liam or Zach. They're at least a little bit better to say, or Lake or Clyde, which to be fair, they should have at least had at least what 2 or 3 minutes of spotlight, please. At least have them help out Stella in this case. Where's my Stella kid moment, please?
Yeah, I think Clyde especially would nail public speaking. Like I feel like out of all of Lika's friends, Clyde would be the one to master this.
Yeah, and also I'm not a grammar nerd, but come on, Rusty, you're in junior high. You're supposed to spell this better.
Oh my gosh! Like honestly, the way Rusty spells it, it's like Rusty, go back to Roy Woods Elementary. Come on, go back to Agnes Johnson. What are you doing, man?
Oh man, again. I miss now tell me about Agnes. I totally miss Agnes now.
I miss Agnes too. I miss her. I kind of want to see where she is a teacher to Lucy or Lana.
Lana. Well, Lola and Lana do have their teachers now, so
yeah, true. Anyway, the keys to confidence. Oh my god,
I don't think so. Well, the first step was talking to yourself in a mirror, which also helped out. But to be fair, she didn't really do a good job with it. I mean, talking to yourself into a mirror, and the way that she says is like, Stella, you have nice hair. Stella, you look nice today, and that kind of stuff. So that didn't work. That didn't really work out in the first step. So yeah, Rusty's school doesn't look to be great. And then the second step, go ahead.
I kind of do it with fail.
And then the second step didn't really work out as well, considering that she put on way too much makeup, or not makeup. It's the spray, and I'm like, what the hell? What are you doing? Our Stella here?
Yeah, she when it says spicy, like she could totally literally feel the spicy part.
Yeah, definitely in her eyes, and it definitely didn't work out for her. And then of course you do have the strut as well, which to be fair, she ended up really working it. She ended up walking through the halls in confidence, but in the end she ended up getting a book to her head, and didn't work out in the end. So to say the least, Rusty's tactics didn't really work out to say.
Yeah, failed as expected.
Right. So now, after Rusty's methods don't work out, Liam would use his tactics to help Stella. Now, Liam would do some sort of stand-up comedy in front of animals, but that doesn't work. Explain your thoughts on how Liam was trying to help Stella in this situation.
Now, of course, while I feel that Liam's methods were more effective than Rusty's, at the end, not even Liam can manage to successfully get Stella to get over the fear of public speaking, especially when Stella pretty much says that line at the end, that B word at the end, and that word is Lord. No, just kidding. It's butcher.
Oh, wait, what? What'd you say? Oh, this is not the Big City Greens review we're doing here.
No. I'm just kidding. When she says the word butchered, that gets the animals to pretty much gather around and just go on a full-on attack, like go wild and all that stuff. So yeah, there are certain things that do trigger these animals.
I mean, they are animals after all. So I mean, here's the thing. Like, I do love this part here where like Stella is literally in front of animals. At least animals don't really like hurt them or anything like that. So she's literally right in front. She literally has some cue cards, literally saying some comedy lines. And even I actually did like this part here where she literally smiled for like a second, and I feel like that was planned. I'm like, what? Like she gave the line out, and I'm like, wait, why did she smile like that? She looked pretty like confident after saying that. Did the Lighthouse writers just say like to put the tiss, and then she put the smile up, and then she goes back to normal, trying to get the comedy out for her?
I could imagine this being like a meme, like Stella's facial expression like that. That's pretty much a meme where you pretty much have this joke, and then after the joke you have the punchline, and then you have the joke at the top. You have to set up at the top of the image, and then you have the punchline at the bottom of the image, and then you have Stella's whole image like that. It's like that's honestly pure gold for a meme.
And yeah, of course, the butchering didn't work out either, considering when she said that word. And of course, these are animals. When they hear butchering, they're thinking that, they're going to the slaughterhouse. Obviously, that turned out to be mayhem for all the animals. And yeah, that turned out to not work out in the end.
Look
I feel
at
like
them.
they were trampled in this. Oh my god.
They look so trembled. They look so tired. They look defeated. Like, honestly, the best way to look at this is that they look defeated.
They definitely do. Oh god, it hurts. So obviously, Liam's plans didn't work either, which means Zach would now come in to actually help Stella out. And the way to do it is by hypnotism. So Zach would have an idea to hypnotize Stella by having her listen to his voice on the tape as she sleeps. And the next morning, Stella comes in front of the cafeteria and it all worked out. It looked like she actually has her confidence. Actually starts talking pretty well in front of people in the cafeteria. Omid, when you saw that Zach's methods were working, what were your first thoughts hearing that?
I thought to myself, yes. Zach managed to pretty much show Liam and Rusty how it's done. Like, Zach actually managed to have the most effective method of helping Stella get rid of her fear of public speaking. And it actually turns out to actually work at the end. Or so we thought.
Just like this whole like scene here where she's just literally listening in her sleep. And then in the end, she started to actually become more confidant. And I was like, yes, thank you, Zach. I mean, literally in that whole sleep sequence, it was literally Zach's voice. So she's listening in. Zach's voice is actually helping her out with all the hypnotism and everything. And in the end, she starts being all confidant. And then I was so proud to see that too, just to see Stella just being like confident and pretty much saying like, hey, I'm going to a state fair, about to make a presentation. Why don't you come on by? And then obviously everyone's cheering and this looks great. Like, oh my God. So Zach, I give you my props. And you also get some hash browns along with that too. So good job, Zach. Yay. Good job, Zach. But remember, the episode's not over yet though. So it's like, okay, cool. So cool. Zach was able to help fix Stella's, fear of public speaking. But the other thing too is that when Stella was pretty much all about to get ready to get her speech, we'd also get to notice a lot of things happening to Stella. A lot of bleep, blorp, bloop, and a lot of alien talk to say. When you saw what was going on with Stella, what were your thoughts about what happened here?
See, that kind of alien talk would have been perfect for an episode like Zack Attack. But now this alien talk is being presented in something like Stella Performance, where we thought that Zack's plan worked, but unfortunately, it doesn't work out very flawlessly. Like, this is one major hurdle, this one side effect to that plan, and it's by the fact that Stella has been acting weird and acting like an alien throughout her entire classroom day. Like, bleep, blah, blah, like all this stuff.
Bleep, blah, blah, like all that. She's pretty much acting like a robot or like acting like an alien. She's like, blah, 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 blah. And she even acts like that throughout it. Like when she's trying to answer a question in this example, she literally was going bleep, blah, blah, and everything. When she was trying to run track and field, she even runs backwards and even says the words that alien says. And then even in the cafeteria, she literally puts her face down and just plays a spaghetti and eats spaghetti. I'm like, what's happening to my?
It's like, that's not.
What is happening to her?
It's adorable to see, but still, that is not how you eat spaghetti. That's not how you eat spaghetti. Come on.
And then she said sports overrated. I'm like,
like, trust me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to see her face full of spaghetti, like full of spaghetti sauce. I'm like no.
Like, trust me, as someone who really loves my mom's spaghetti, as someone who gets excited to eat my mom's spaghetti, like, even I know not to eat, like that.
I just love the fact that like everyone is concerned at this moment. Like, we get to hear Stella say like, "Oh, I'm feeling confident," and then we always get to see her like feel the behavior of her just starts to get all weird, like aliening talkie and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, now when you look back and I'm like, oh, now is Stella going to work well in her performance? Because literally the next scene was her presentation. So
yes,
yeah, it's time for her to give her speech, but she's acting wonky throughout this whole thing. And even in the whole presentation, she started to act wonky as well. So in front of the judges, he literally was acting like an alien. It didn't. So what happened? What were your thoughts when you saw that? What were your thoughts when you saw that? I'm like, why would you embarrass yourself, Stella? Why would you do this to yourself?
Honestly, Stella would have much better luck giving her entire speech in front of Martians rather than, actual human beings at that point, given and how she's been acting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what, but I just thought, like, why didn't Zach, why didn't Liam, why didn't Rusty or Lincoln or Clyde ever come up and say, hey, dude, Stella's acting weird. Don't let her come into the stage. But then you put her on the stage and really do an embarrassing act like this. I'm like, where are the friends that's supposed to help her out in this? Like, could you have done that?
Maybe because they thought that it would wear off, like real quick. They thought it would wear off, but then it would continue to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, and then she ended up having an embarrassing like performance, literally just going all weak, walk, and tweaked and all this. Not even giving a a grilled cheese sandwich to the crowd, because that was the experiment. She's literally just giving out alien noises and everything. So, and at the end, she also did ruin her science project. So, thanks, Zach. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, we thought that it worked. We thought that plan worked for a second when Stella did give out a big presentation in the cafeteria, but it actually turns out to have some sort of side effect, and a really nasty side effect at that.
Of course. Anyways, but here we go. I mean, Zach now realizes there's a problem, and it turned out that apparently his parents actually recorded over that tape, because after Zach finished the recording, we also get to see Zach's mom talk with Alien Talk, and that makes sense why Stella was acting like this. So what were your thoughts when you heard about that? Like, oh, Zach's mom pretty much ruined Stella's performance.
Yeah, honestly, that's pretty much the only way that can explain why Stella acted the way she did, because let's be honest, Zach's plan looked like it was working, but then it turns out that at the end, she was still making that alien noises, and I was wondering where it came from. And then I look at the explanation, Zach's explanation, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, that does make sense now. Like, honestly, there's no other, possible explanation other than, Zach's mom, technically alien, is the possible explanation for that.
I think the thing here is that Zach did a slip up. I mean, Zach, you could have done better to actually know what happened in that tape. You could have at least kept the tape all by yourself while you're recording it for Stella, and then in the end, not let your mom or dad even take the tape and record over it. You could have done something like that. Instead, you made Stella become such an alien throughout the whole day. And I'm like, oh no, my poor precious Stella, just like this. Why did it have to be like this?
But hey, she has a bright future ahead of her as some sort of like alien translator.
Oh God, no, I am not making that happen. But here's the thing. I get it. Stella messed up. But Principal Ramirez actually would overhear too, but it didn't stop her from teaching. It tells her about her time she had fear of public speaking herself. It didn't stop her from teaching either. So she encourages Stella to keep trying, but tells Stella whatever decision she makes, she'll support her. So what do you think? How do you think about Principal Ramirez being such a motherly figure to Stella here?
This is really wholesome because, let's be honest, when we see Stella's mom, we don't see much of her being a mother to Stella. Whereas here, on the other hand, like Principal Ramirez, look at that. Principal Ramirez is the motherly figure to Stella that Stella really needs, especially during her time growing up in middle school, because you do see that energy, that support that Principal Ramirez gives to Stella. You can see that, like, Principal Ramirez sees that, sees the Stella in her, within herself, and all that stuff. So I like that little moment of how she gives really good advice as a mother would to a daughter, and then you see them hugging at the end. I'm just like, yes, look at that. That is just mother-daughter energy. I want to see more of this. Like, honestly, if I want to see one thing, if there's one thing I want to see from future Loud House episodes regarding Stella, is the sort of relationship right there between Stella and Principal Ramirez.
Dude, just the fact that Principal Ramirez is a huge Stella fan. It's just like me when I actually tried to root for Stella to win a competition in this case.
Yeah.
Look, like, she even had a shirt for her. She even had like a hat for her, and she even was banging drums with Stella's face on it. I'm like, okay, you're a huge fan of like rooting for Stella here.
Yeah, so Principal Ramirez has pretty much turned into you. Principal Ramirez turned into you.
I think so. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably follow towards Principal Ramirez's footsteps now. Give me a shirt, Principal Ramirez. I would love a Stella shirt. But yeah, I mean, I totally feel for Principal Ramirez. I mean, like everybody starts off small. I mean, when she went to teaching, for example, she ended up messing up as well. She literally got herself caught in one of those rolly thingies up in the school. So yeah, she embarrasses herself. But then here's the thing that was the best thing for her is the fact that she kept on trying. So like look, teaching is going to be her thing, so she kept on trying. And look what happened to her. She's now the principal of the school. So if anything, Stella has to get out of her fear. And I love how Principal Ramirez uses that example to help Stella out of her rut, that she could go back into public speaking and obviously talk to, and obviously speak in front of the crowds and everything. So it's unfortunate that we weren't able to see the whole speech itself. But to be fair, it just tells you like how confident Stella was going back out in front and just pretty much telling everybody in front, telling everybody out in front about her speech and everything, and that she definitely has a confidence that she has now when it comes to public speaking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like me, I'm also tearing up with that moment.
Look at that! Look at the tears in their eyes.
Look at the guys.
Look at the tears in their eyes.
I would tear up too. It was sweet. It was sweet. Thank you, Principal Ramirez. You're not a bad principal. You're not a bad principal. I know you're trying to get. I know you were trying to get Lincoln to Canada. That was the one like mistake you did. But then now, ever since we now like Principal Ramirez, I probably will love Principal Ramirez now, knowing that she supports Stella a whole lot in this episode.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and yeah, they really tugged at my heartstrings too. I love the fact that how Lincoln, like the boys right here, they pretty much resemble us when we watch that scene. It's like, oh my gosh, look what you're doing to me. You're making me tear up now too.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, I felt so bad for all the guys, and of course, this is a touching moment, and I really hope we get to see more of Principal Ramirez and Stella working together. Oh, that'd be great if we actually get to see more of that.
Yes.
And unfortunately, she didn't end up winning, which obviously I'm angry about. The reason was one of the scientists were lactose intolerant, and that made her lose.
Really? That's the reason? Okay, come on.
Apparently, yeah. And no one knew about that. It was pretty much like out of left field. But nonetheless, what mattered was the fact that she still ended up going up in front, doing public speaking, and in the end, it all worked out for her. Maybe next time we'll get to see her get her do more public speaking, maybe doing a leadership role later on in her career. Who knows? We're still having season 7. Maybe Stella might actually become a class leader or something like that. It'd be great if we actually get to see that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on the ending here, where Stella didn't end up winning?
I'm just like, okay, like Stella got robbed big time. Like Stella got really snubbed. Honestly, just because the judge is lactose intolerant. Come on, that's a pretty petty reason if you ask me. Why don't you bring on someone who isn't lactose intolerant?
Well, unfortunately, that wasn't the case there. And of course, at the end, we also get to see Principal Ramirez still cheer for Stella. She literally has a hot air balloon for Stella. What the hell?
That is true Stella rep right there. That's true Stella rep.
Yeah. Okay, so I got nothing else to say. I kind of do want to bring up a couple of things. This is a lot of facial features for Stella. I'm sorry. I'm not one person who like to make some snips when it comes to making these presentations, but there's a lot of like amazing. Okay, don't judge me because I'm weird like that, but a lot of facial features of Stella, like there's also this cute moment here. Like, I mean, everybody will probably love this moment.
Yes, like they make for good reactionary.
They definitely have like good reaction photos. I'm like, wow, why is she so cute like this? She's adorable. Why didn't you make her like this? Like throughout some of the episodes, like of course we get to see shy, small Stella. We get to see a burning Stella. We also get to see a very sad Stella.
Sad Stella. And then you get to see Stella like. You get to see Stella,
we also get to see the smiling Stella during the comedy bit. Yeah. And then there was a derpy face Stella. Here's your derpy face Stella.
Oh, and also spaghetti Stella. Spaghetti Stella.
Oh God,
like that's more
Stella.
derpy.
Oh my God. Where's other things do we have? Oh no, we also got this facial Stella. Look at her. I can't. She's a precious little bean. Look at her.
With the cheeks.
I cannot.
With the
it's
cheeks,
adorable.
I see it.
She's a cutie pie. Okay. I can't.
I like that with the cheeks, especially, is a nice touch.
Yeah. Oh, and we also get to see the derpy Stella before she whoops. Before
See,
she
that's
got
the kind.
herself,
That's
she
what I
got
was
herself
talking
into
about.
the spaghetti face.
This was actually what I was talking about right there.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, her derpy face here. Oh, and this was actually pretty cute. I got this like one little snip where she was laughing and all. I'm like, okay, that's cute too.
Also, the way she sounded when she was laughing, like Haley Jew's laugh during like the scene, really, really adorable.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm kind of thinking like, oh, yeah, that's right. She's Haley Sue. Wait a minute. Are we going to make some Marcy Wu things now because of this?
Yes. I would love that very much.
Am I imagining more fan art of like Marcy Wu in this adorable pose? Like not adorable pose, but in this adorable like character? Like her small.
Oh, yeah.
Am I gonna see Marcy in this now? I don't know. I mean, okay, I can see the amphibia artist gonna be talking about this one right now, but I'm like, if you want to, I will have you'll have my permission to draw Marcy Wu like this.
Considering how Marcy Wu is sort of introverted in a way, like it wouldn't be out of character for Marcy to be in this particular position.
All right. I don't know. I mean, there's just so much stuff I could just bring up about Stella, but no doubt about it. This definitely was an amazing episode for her. I loved it just because I'm a huge Stella fan. So, I mean, there's more I could say, but to say the least, it was just great. Let's head straight to our reviews. Omid, how would you rate a Stella Performance?
I would rate a Stella Performance a 9 out of 10. Definitely one of the best season 6 episodes. And then, of course, when it comes to episodes focused on like one particular friend of Lincoln's that isn't Lincoln or Clyde, honestly, a Stella Performance is my favorite one of them all. Like, it's even better than Tales of Woe, which is Stella's previous episode. It's better than Zack Attack. It's better than Farm Unstable. It's better than Save the Last Pants. Let me tell you, a Stella Performance is quite a Stella episode.
That's a good way to put it there. I am literally saying no bias here, but obviously as a huge Stella fan, I come into this episode thinking that obviously all about Stella. That's one thing. But at the same time, I understand how Stella is. Like, look, she's not the perfect girl that we're talking about. She has a flaw. She has public speaking performance issues. I do love the fact that like some of her friends were able to help her, quote unquote, help her out. Rusty with his thing, Liam with the comedy thing, and then Zach with the hypnotism thing. Look, like at least she has support from Zach, Liam, and Rusty. If they had more time, it would be cool to actually see Lincoln and Clyde have like their take on trying to help Stella out in this. And yeah, I feel like she got rigged considering that because of the lactose intolerance is the reason why she lost. And I'm like, well, no one knew that.
No one knew that. Exactly.
No one knew that. But the main story about this is the fact that Principal Ramirez is definitely now a better character. I mean, like Principal Ramirez, when we first saw her, we thought she was just a principal that would love to bring like Lincoln to Canada, for example, or she's that principal that we don't really talk about. But now that she's actually being a supportive character to Stella, I thought she had an amazing performance there, where I get to see like her being supportive to Stella in more ways than one. Besides being a mentor, she literally was a fan, literally having a lot of Stella stuff around her. I'm like, can I be you? And then obviously I felt bad for Stella throughout the whole thing. Like Stella going through all of these like plans from Rusty, Zach, and Liam. And of course it doesn't work out in the end, even if Zach's methods end up failing her. So I felt bad for Stella. And me being a big fan for Stella, I just felt for her like throughout the episode. I'm like, I can't believe she did this. I can't believe she did that. I can't believe she's talking about aliens. I can't believe she's, messing up. I can't believe this adorable, like small Stella said mommy, and now she's embarrassed in their old school. So obviously this hurts me a whole lot, but I believe this was a huge, amazing Stella episode. Better than the Tales of Woe episode for sure. It kind of stinks that I believe Haley Sue is this her last performance before she moves into different things. So if anything, Stella will come back, but in a different voice actress. So I'm sorry, Haley Sue will not be Stella in season 7 possibly. But this is going to be her last performance. She definitely did a great job with it. And No, and I gotta give this a 9.5 out of 10. I think this is great of an episode for Stella. I like I said, I didn't give it 10, I give it 9.5, but I think this is an amazing episode for Stella. If we can have more Stella episodes like this, it'd be awesome. If anything, like anything to actually improve Stella's character and also anything to help Stella out when it comes to her flaws, that's always gonna be an A+ for me. So yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for me. I love Stella Performance, no doubt. But yeah, I mean, obviously a big Stella fan. What can you do?
Yeah. Honestly, Haley Zhu's performance was a Stella performance, and I'm just wondering, like, hopefully, the next voice actress that will perform as this character will be just as Stella as the previous.
I really hope so, because look, Stella's amazing. Obviously Filipino representation, hell yeah. And look, she said this is an amazing character, and I'm still waiting to see, like, you know, I've been giving the ideas out to the Loud crew and telling her, hey, she's to hang out with the guys. How about the girls? Why don't you hang out with Girl Jordan? Why don't you hang out with all the other girls that are in junior high? Hello, can we get that episode, please? Maybe season 7. I don't know, but please, I like this Stella episode was amazing. If we could have more Stella episodes in season 7, I would be down for that. No, I would be down for that, like, hands down. I would love to see what they got in mind for her.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for our episode reviews. We put a long one here because we had a lot to talk about. Omin's episode, the Luna episode, Hiccups and Downs. We had a lot to talk about in Crash Course, the Lori episode that I love, and of course, the Stella episode is the one that I definitely enjoyed. You know me. You all know me by now.
And you all know me. I love me some Luna Loud. So yeah.
All right, so yeah, remember that you can listen to our Loud Castle Talks podcast on all podcast providers from Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and much more. Also, if you do like this stream, head over to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LoudCastleTalks. We always stream on there every Wednesday. Please go ahead and hit that follow button so you'll be notified when we'll be coming on. We always come on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Please go ahead and click on that so you can get to see our Twitch stream live. And if you miss out on the Wednesday stream, do not worry, we always bring up the video on Thursdays on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the red button and also hitting the bell button to be notified when it will come on next. And next week we're going to do more Loud House episodes as we review the episodes that came out on the 9th, 16th, and the 28th, which means we're going to be reviewing Sheer Pressure, Stroke of Luck, Space Jammed, and Ground and Dirty. So those are the episodes we're going to be reviewing next.
Yeah, so like pretty much this time around, we're still going to be sticking in Royal Woods. We're still going to be, staying in the Loud House for another extra week because in order to review Casa Grande's episodes, we have to review them like sometime in the future when the last 2 episodes come out. Again, rip Casa Grande's May recipes.
That's in 2 weeks, by the way. That's in 2 weeks. Just a heads up.
It's approaching its graveyard. It's approaching.
We're going to have our. It's so weird because we're gonna call it the series finale of the episode reviews of the Casa Grandes, which means that will be our final episode reviews of the Casa Grandes. Dude, that's gotta be hard for us to talk about.
Yo, my heart, man. Honestly, it really breaks my heart to know, how it ended too early.
Casa Grandes is going to end in 2 weeks, so just a heads up, we're going to do our episode reviews of the Casa Grandes, the final one in 2 weeks. Just a heads up.
Yeah, it's going to end too early. It's going to end way too early.
I don't know, man. We'll see. Yeah, it's going to be hard for us, especially in 2 weeks. Anyways, that's pretty much it for us here. Thank you all for watching. My name is Nate.
And this is Omid saying thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening to what we have to say about these episodes. It is so great to be back from like two weeks later, especially after a huge vacation we had. And until next time, smell you later, Loud Crowd.